your nose.
Blue Coal presents The Shadow, the mystery man who strikes terror in the very hearts of shopsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Today, The League of Terror. Ladies and gentlemen, The Shadow's exciting adventure starts in just a moment. But first, I'd like to ask you homeowners a question. Do you want to cut down winter coals, protect your family's health during this dangerous winter season? Then burn Blue Coal for clean, safe, healthful heat all winter long. Blue Coal is Pennsylvania's finest anthracite, and its harmless blue coloring is your guarantee of better heat at less cost. So when it comes to fuel, insist on Blue Coal. Order it by name. Your nearest Blue Coal dealer will be glad to send you a trial ton. Phone him tomorrow.
With the court's permission, I'll rephrase that question. Mr. Sullivan, do you know how these counterfeit $1 and $5 bills came to be in the cash register of your grocery store?
I got them from customers, I guess.
Michael Sullivan, you're a witness in a federal trial, under oath to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. You know you can be sent to prison for perjury?
Yes, I know it well enough.
Before this trial began, you testified that the defendants in this case, Slater and Marino, entered your store, that they forced you to buy counterfeit $5 and $10 bills to be passed out and changed to your unsuspecting customers. Why have you changed your testimony? Why?
I was mistaken, that's all.
You're lying, Michael Sullivan, lie.
Order in the court. Mr. Prosecutor,
Yes, Your Honor.
it is quite apparent that your witness has received a threat, either to himself or his family, if he testified against the defendants in this case. Since he will not repeat his sworn testimony against these defendants, I have no alternative but to dismiss the charges. Case dismissed.
Order in the court. Your Honor, I demand that Michael Sullivan be held on a charge of perjury.
Michael Sullivan, much as this court may sympathize with your reasons and motives for shielding these criminals who prey upon an unsuspecting public in the wholesale commerce of worthless counterfeit money, I have no alternative but to sentence you to 1 year in prison.
1 year in prison. But, Your Honor, there's my wife and my daughter, Mary. I'm afraid of what the dirty rats would do to them if I told the truth.
I'm sorry, Michael Sullivan, but unless you testify...
I can't. I tell you, I can't.
Very well. The sentence of 1 year in prison must stand. Court's adjourned.
It ain't fair. It ain't right. I get a year in prison for trying to protect my family, and the real crooks go free. Look at them walking out of court free as the air to go on with their dirty business.
Yes, a good thing for his daughter Mary that Sullivan took my warning. Come on, let's get out of here. Okay, boss.
Lamont, of all the unfair, unjust sentences...
I know, Margot. It seems cruel, harsh, but our whole legal system is being undermined by violence and intimidation of witnesses.
Isn't there something you could do, Lamont, some way of helping Michael Sullivan?
Sullivan isn't the only one who is suffering from the operation of this counterfeit ring. Small businessmen, shopkeepers, poor people who can't afford to get bad money.
A counterfeit dollar bill probably means the difference between eating and not eating to a lot of those people over in Sullivan's district.
Exactly, Margot. This is operating among the poor people who can't defend themselves.
Lamont, are you going to enter the case as the shadow?
Well, later perhaps. Right now, Margot, Lamont Cranston and Margot Lane can help by doing a little shopping in Michael Sullivan's grocery store.
Good evening, Mrs. Giovanni. Good evening, Miss Sullivan. How's little Maria? Oh, she's sick. All the time she cries. Oh, what's the matter? I don't know. The doctor, he says she don't get enough to eat. I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh, it cannot be helped, Miss Sullivan. Oh, I'm mighty sorry they send your papa to jail because he won't talk now. Father would have talked. He ain't afraid. Not for himself. He was afraid of what they do to Mother and me. How is your mother? She's not so well. She's been sick all along, and now with Father in prison. She can't understand it. I'm afraid for her. She's so sick. None of us don't understand. We're all afraid.
Well, I'm not. I've got Father's gun here under the counter, and if any of that counterfeit gang comes around here again, I won't depend on the law to protect me.
Oh, no, Miss Sullivan. You can't fight them. They're too many.
Well, there'll be a couple less if they bother us again.
Hush, Maria. Oh, hush, bambino mio.
Baby.
No. Miss Sullivan, you have so much trouble. I don't like to bother you, but...
What is it, Mrs. Giovanni?
But the landlord, he say that $5 bill that Mr. Sullivan gave me, it's no good. He say I got to pay the rent in good money or get out. Look, he give it back to me.
Another counterfeit bill, huh? I'm sorry, Mrs. Giovanni. Give it to me. Here. Here's a good bill. At least I think it is. The counterfeit bills are so good you can hardly tell they're fakes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, miss.
Here we are, Margot.
I'll be with you in just a moment.
Oh, thank you.
If you hear of anyone else who has any of these bad bills Father had to give out, let me know, Mrs. Giovanni. I'll make 'em good if it takes every cent we got.
Oh, bless you, miss. Well, goodbye. You be mighty careful, Miss Sullivan.
I will, Mrs. Giovanni. Good night. Good evening. What do you want?
I think a couple of cans of corn and string beans.
And a loaf of bread. Yes, and some butter.
You're strangers in this neighborhood?
Yes, and get some peaches.
Yes, 2 large cans of peaches.
Strangers don't come way over here in this section to buy groceries. Who are you and what do you really want?
Miss Sullivan, put away that gun. You're a courageous but a rather foolish young woman.
Well, maybe so. But I got only myself to think of. I'm not like Dad, afraid because he had a family.
Please, Miss Sullivan, we're not members of the counterfeit ring that's been terrorizing your father.
How do I know that?
If we were members of that ring, Miss Sullivan, you would have been shot long before you could get that gun. It's very obvious.
Well, what do you want?
For appearance's sake, in case this store is being watched, you'd better give us the groceries we ordered.
All right. What was it now?
Corn, string beans, and peaches.
Here's the corn. Who are you? Newspaper reporters or the police?
Would you like to save your father from that year in prison?
Yes, anything. It's killing my mother, but...
There's a man watching the store across the street in a doorway.
I expected as much.
Who are you? How can you save my
Get the
father?
groceries.
Yes, sir.
Now the other things. Keep moving. But listen to me.
Yes, sir.
You're a brave girl, Miss Sullivan, but your life won't be worth one of those counterfeit bills unless you use your head.
What do you mean?
Do you know enough about this counterfeit ring, how they operate, who they are, to make them fear you will talk?
I know how they operate, but Slater and Marina are the only ones who ever came here.
Slater and Marina will be out of the picture for the present. Don't stand there. Get me things, anything at all. Make a package.
My father never saw anyone else either. None of the big shots. I'll put this stuff in a paper bag.
There are 2 men in that doorway across the street now, Lamont.
Let me know if they start this way. Now, Miss Sullivan, I can't tell you who I am or exactly why I'm here, except that I was in court today. I want to help you. I can if you're willing to take a great risk to help your father.
I'll do anything for Dad. If I don't get him out, I'm afraid my mother'll die. If I only knew who's behind Slater and Marino, who's their boss.
You can find out. But you know what happens to those who know too much.
I'll take that risk. How can I find out who they are?
By pretending to know more than you do.
I don't understand.
Those men across the street will undoubtedly come in here in the minute we leave. They'll question you. Pretend you know how they operate.
Yes?
That you want to be paid to keep quiet. The chances are they'll take you to a higher up. Maybe not the ringleader, but someone who knows the real leader.
But Lamont, they'll kill her.
Not until they find out how much she knows and who else shares that knowledge.
Anyhow, I don't care.
It's only fair to warn you. You're taking a desperate chance.
What have I got to lose? They'll probably try to put me out of the way anyhow. The whole neighborhood knows how I feel about them. I've said I'd kill them for what they've done to my father if I ever found out who they were.
Those men are starting this way.
You've got to go, Miss Sullivan. You better think over what I've said before you act.
Oh, no, I'll do it. My mind's made up.
Come on, Margot.
Lamont, aren't you letting that poor girl take a terrible risk?
Margot, that girl was marked for death before we came here.
What are we going to do? Look, Lamont, those men, they're going in the store.
Margot, get a taxi and get out of this district. Be sure you're not followed. Go to my office and keep the shortwave radio tuned in on the band I always use.
All right, Lamont. But won't you tell me what you're going to do?
There's no time, Margot. I've got to see where they take her. From now on, the fate of Mary Sullivan is in the hands of the shadow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Shadow will be back with you in just a moment. In the meantime, I'd like to tell you some interesting facts. In the Dominion of Canada, where there is a temperature range of almost 200 degrees, from warm summer days to frigid Arctic nights, the selection of fuel is a serious problem. And the tremendous popularity of blue coal in Canada under these varying conditions is positive proof that blue coal gives steadier, healthier, more dependable heat than you can get with any other fuel. You homeowners here in the United States should be just as critical in the selection of your fuel. And when you choose blue coal, you'll find you're getting better heat at less cost. For blue coal is a selected Pennsylvania anthracite, the fuel that burns longer, more economically, down to a fine powdery ash. What's more, anthracite is the fuel that furnaces, parlor stoves, and cooking ranges in this part of the country were especially designed to burn. And the finest anthracite in America is blue coal. It's mined by the famous Glen Alden Coal Company, and every carload is tested and retested for purity and uniform size before shipment. Blue coal is especially prepared for home use. It comes in all the popular domestic sizes: egg, stove, chestnut, and pea size. So solve your problem of home fuel selection by placing your order for blue coal tomorrow. Ask for it by name. Phone your nearest blue coal dealer the first thing in the morning. You'll find him listed in the Where to Buy It section of your classified telephone directory under the name Blue Coal.
Where are you taking me?
Shut up. Get in, kid. Sit down and keep quiet. Come on, get up, sister. Here, I'll take the blindfold off your eyes.
Why'd you bring me down to the waterfront?
I do as I'm told. You better learn the same thing.
Where are you taking me?
Maybe this is the end of the line for you, Mary Sullivan.
You wouldn't.
Wouldn't we, though?
But not without orders from the big boss.
What do you know about the big boss?
Plenty.
Then your number is up, all right, kid. Them that know plenty about the big boss don't live long.
You're still alive?
Yeah, sure. 'Cause I don't even know who the big boss is, and I don't want to know. It ain't healthy.
Trigger.
Who's that?
It's me, Rankin. You got the Sullivan dame?
Yeah. There she is. Yeah, so I see. She's a nice looker. Listen, Rankin, she says she knows plenty about the big boss.
I'll say I do.
You're a liar, Mary Sullivan. But you do know too much about the rest of us.
You better get in touch with the big boss before you do anything to me.
We don't bother him with all the details of this counterfeit racket.
Well, you better bother him about this.
Hey, you know, Rankin, I think she knows something. Shut up, Trigger. I'll do the thinking around here. But maybe she does at that.
I know plenty. And I'm not the only one.
Say, what happened to that fella and dame that was in the Sullivan grocery just before we snatched her? The guy got clean away somehow. Yeah, what about the dame? She took a cab. Smitty trailed her, but she gave him the slip. Switched cabs in traffic somewhere. Maybe you better take this kid to the big boss. Not till I find out how much she knows. Come on, Swig, make her talk. You know how. All right, kid. Do you spill what you know, or do we have to get it out of you the hard way?
Let go of my arm. I won't talk to anybody but the big boss. And he'll pay me plenty to keep quiet. You can't scare me like you did my father.
She wants dough to keep quiet. Shut up, Trigger. Twist her arm. Give her a sample of what's coming to her if she don't talk and talk fast. All right, kid. You asked for it.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you dope. She's fainted. I guess I twisted her arm too hard. Rankin, did you hear that? Yeah, I heard it. What was it? It's a trap. The cops must have followed us here. Come on, let's take it on the lamb. No, wait, we can't leave that dame here. You take the Sullivan kid, I'll shoot out the light.
Don't draw your gun, Trigger. Don't move, Rankin.
He knows who we are. Trig, there's something screwy about this. That voice, it's right here, but there ain't nobody with it.
You're mistaken, Rankin. There is someone here.
What kind of gag is this, Rankin? I don't see nothing, but say I'm getting out of here.
Wait, Trigger. Do you remember Lefty Sims?
Sure, the best finger man in the East, but
He tried to shoot it out with a voice. The police got him. But when he went to the chair, there was only one name on his lip. Remember?
The Shadow, I reckon. That's what it is. It ain't the police or the feds. It's the guy nobody's ever seen. The Shadow. They say he throws a sort of spell over a guy's mind so you can't see him.
Shut up, you're crazy.
Yeah.
It's just somebody throwing his voice. I've seen him do it in vaudeville. Come on, you pop that light and let's break for it.
Wait. I'm not going to stop you. But before you go, take this message to your leader.
You better listen to him, Rankin. You can't outsmart that guy. Nobody ever has, not for long.
Tell the man who controls this counterfeit ring that preys on the poor and helpless. Tell him that if anything should happen to Mary Sullivan, he will answer to the Shadow.
He's right in front of us somewhere. Take a couple of pot shots, maybe you can get him.
No, not me. Can't you see the Shadow set to shake down the big boss?
If you won't shoot, I will. I'll get him even if I can't see him.
A gun won't help you, Rankin.
Oh, no? We'll see about that.
You got him. Talk about luck.
Yeah. Well, let's get going while our luck's still good. I don't know if I killed him or not, but I must have winged him. Come on, grab that Sullivan dame and let's get back to the big boss and tell him what's happened.
Yeah, how? Where are we going?
I got a speedboat waiting under the wharf. Come on, we're heading down the bay.
Hey, look. What do you think the big boss will say about bringing the Sullivan dame to his hideout?
Yeah, I hate to think about it. If I'll steer the boat, you watch that Sullivan dame. She ought to be coming too by now.
Yeah, she's coming out of it. Hey, how much farther we gotta go?
Yeah, we're practically there. You see that yacht laying at anchor out there?
Holy cat. You mean that's the big boss hideout?
Yeah, Tree. And you're finding out something you're liable to wish you never heard about, much less seen.
Yeah. You mean that's the plant, huh? That's where all the phony dough's been coming from.
You catch on quick, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the layout the feds and cops have been looking for months. Classy, ain't she? All right, here we are. Get that Sullivan dame on her feet.
Yeah, okay. But how about me staying in the speedboat?
Nothing doing. You're coming aboard and tell the big boss what you know about this Shadow.
Nobody knows much about
You
it.
better spill what you do know and spill it fast, Tree. The big boss is the head of this racket because he can think faster than you can shoot. He gets in the idea you're in on the shakedown, you're as good as dead.
I ain't pulling no double cross. I swear I ain't like
Shut
that.
up and bring that dame aboard. Boss knows how to handle her kind. And watch your step or you'll get what's coming to her.
Okay. Come on, sister, come on. Before the night's over, I got a hunch you and me are gonna wish we'd never seen this ritzy tub.
Margot Lane. Listen carefully. Act quickly. The life of the Sullivan girl depends upon it. Telephone Police Commissioner Weston. Have him notify the harbor patrol boats that they will find the leader of the counterfeit ring on board the large yacht anchored off Diamond Point. Hurry.
Okay, there you are, Rankin.
Listen, boss.
No, you listen to me. I've warned you never to come to this yacht without orders.
But, boss, I had...
What's the idea of bringing Trigger and that Sullivan girl here? You know what happens to those who break the rules of my organization?
I couldn't help it, boss. This is important. She ain't seen anything. I locked her in one of the cabins.
I decide what's important. Why didn't you report first?
There wasn't time. I was going to report, but then this Shadow started talking to us in the warehouse.
The Shadow?
Yeah. You tell him, Trigger.
Never mind. I've heard all about the Shadow. So he's on the trail, eh?
Yeah, it's a shakedown, boss.
Shut up and listen to me. If the Shadow's behind this, it's no shakedown.
What is his racket?
Putting organizations like mine out of business. Putting fools like you and Trigger in the electric chair.
Yeah. Well, he won't, because I got him back in the warehouse.
You what?
Yeah, boss. Hank took a couple of wild shots at where the Shadow's voice was coming from, and we heard him fall.
How do you know that fall wasn't a trick? How do you know he didn't follow you here?
No boat trailed us.
No, I suppose it didn't occur to you that he might have been hiding in the speedboat with you. Where's that Sullivan girl? Bring her in here.
I'll get it, boss. She's locked in the next cabin.
Rankin, you're a fool. You let Trigger and the Sullivan girl in on something they're not likely to forget. And you know what to do. Take care of them.
You mean fix them so they won't talk? Permanent?
Do you know of any other way?
Yeah, but listen, boss, the Shadow said if anything happened to Mary Sullivan, you'd answer to him.
You leave the Shadow to me. Shadow?
He ain't dead. I didn't kill him.
That is a reasonable assumption, Rankin.
Boss, he's here in this cabin.
I see my presence is accepted without question. Even though you can't see me.
Rankin, shoot, you fool, shoot.
Yes. Try again, Rankin.
All right, Shadow. Maybe I won't miss this time.
Hey, Rankin, what's up?
Rankin. Try
The
again.
door. He's getting out. Fast, Trigger. Shoot, Rankin, shoot.
Get out of the way, Trigger.
Rankin, you rat. You double-crossed rat. Fill me full of lead, will you? Rub me out because I seen too much, will you?
Don't, Trig. Put down that gat. I wasn't shooting at you. It was the Shadow. He was here just a minute ago.
I care about the Shadow. All I know is I got a load of lead in me. Your lead, and I'm gonna...
Don't shoot. Don't try.
Too bad, Rankin. Too bad. Couldn't have polished me off like I did him. Quick and easy.
Trigger.
Shadow.
Trigger. That man there, the big boss, ordered Rankin to kill you. Trigger, he is your real enemy.
Yeah. I had a notion he might try it.
Don't raise that gun, Trigger.
I know that one. If I do, you'll kill me. You can't kill a guy with as much lead in him as I'm carrying. You can't kill a guy that's already dead.
Perhaps not, but I can't avoid the risk that you have strength enough left to raise that gun.
You're a better shot than Rankin. Big shot. Better shot, big shot. Not bad. Not a bad gag.
And now, we are alone.
Yes, quite alone. And now, I'm going to deal with you, Shadow.
Your hand is shaking. Is that the way for a mastermind to act?
You devil. If I could only see you. But you won't get away.
And neither will you. I've notified the police. Their boats are coming. Listen.
Oh, so that's it, eh?
Yes, that's it. They're coming to get the leader of a counterfeit ring. But they will find a murderer, a cold-blooded killer, locked in this cabin with his victim.
That's what you think, but you're mistaken.
Why are you putting down your gun? Are you giving up so easily?
Listen, Shadow, I've heard a lot about you. You're clever. Well, I'm clever, too. Clever enough to know when the game is up. I've anticipated just such an eventuality. I suppose you can see this little switch on my desk? My hand's resting on it.
Yes, I see it.
You know what will happen if I close this switch? And I will if the police set foot on this yacht.
I think I can guess.
Well, I'll tell you. This switch will set off a charge of high explosive down in the hold that will blow you and me and the police to kingdom come.
I see.
If you touch me, try to stop me, I'll throw the switch.
What do you expect me to do?
You call the police and you can send them away.
What makes you think I will?
If you don't get rid of them, I'll throw this switch. What have I got to lose? Well, there they are. What about it? Think fast. Will you send them away? So you think I'm bluffing, eh, Shadow?
No, you're not bluffing. I have no doubt there is high explosive in the hold of this ship. But I wonder if you have nerve enough to throw that switch. I wonder.
All right, Shadow, you had your chance and you wouldn't take it. Now I'll show you. I'll throw the switch. It didn't work. It didn't explode.
No, it didn't explode. The switch doesn't work because I've cut the wires. See where they run along the wall.
You devil. I'll get you. They may get me now, but I'll get you. You'll never take me alive.
That's a handcuff on it. Get him out of here. Go on, get him out.
I guess that's the man we're after, Commissioner. All right, you, come on, get going.
Yes, Commissioner Weston, that is your man. That is the leader of the counterfeit ring you've hunted so long.
You'll win, Shadow.
The Shadow. I might have known. I had a hunch it was you again when the mysterious call came through.
Commissioner Weston, there's a girl in the next cabin. She says she isn't a member of the gang.
She is Mary Sullivan, daughter of Michael Sullivan, convicted of perjury in the counterfeit trial.
Sullivan's daughter?
Yes. She risked her life to find these men. Reward her by getting her father out of prison.
He'll be freed in the morning. You have my word on that. It looks like you're due a reward for this night's work, Shadow.
My reward, like yours, Commissioner, is in protecting the defenseless from those who have not learned that crime does not pay.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we tell you of the Shadow's next exciting adventure, here's John Barclay, Blue Coal's heating expert. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barclay.
Thank you, Ken Roberts. Good evening, friends. If you want to get better, more efficient results from your home heating plant at no extra cost, do this. Phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer and ask him to send one of my trained servicemen to your home. Each John Barclay serviceman is a heating expert. He knows every kind of heating apparatus, inside out. For instance, here's the experience of a woman in Revere, Massachusetts. She writes in part, I'm obliged to heat 14 rooms, and I always had trouble with 4 radiators. Try as I would, I could not seem to heat the 4 rooms in which those radiators were stationed until one of your John Barclay servicemen inspected the entire basement of my home, including the pipes and boiler. Also those radiators which had given me so much trouble. The serviceman made some recommendations that I followed, and from that time on I have never had any trouble whatsoever. My heating difficulties are over. I'm so pleased that I feel it my duty to write this to you so that other persons may avail themselves of this most advantageous service. And friends, that's only one of many letters I've received. Why not avail yourself of this free service? Remember, you don't even have to be a customer to profit by it. Simply phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer. He'll be only too glad to send a John Barclay serviceman to look over your heating plant. And when that serviceman calls on you, ask him about the Blue Coal heat regulator. With that wonderful thermostat attached to your heating plant, you'll get more uniform, more economical heat than the most expensive oil burner will give you. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barclay. Friends, Mr. Barclay has just given you a valuable tip, so take his advice. Phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer the first thing in the morning. Have a John Barclay serviceman stop at your home tomorrow. The story you have just heard is one of the many copyrighted stories that appear in the Shadow magazine. The characters in this story are entirely fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
Next week, same time, same station, Blue Coal, America's finest anthracite, will present another thrilling adventure of the Shadow. Be sure to listen and be sure to burn Blue Coal, the solid fuel for solid comfort.
The Shadow knows.
Blue Coal presents The Shadow, the mystery man who strikes terror into the very hearts of shopsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Today's story, Sabotage. Today's exciting adventure with The Shadow starts in just a moment. But first, I'd like to say a few words about health. Over 50% of all family colds can be traced to uneven heat or overheating in the home. So protect your family's health by burning blue coal, America's finest anthracite. Then you will be sure of steady, lasting, healthful heat at less cost. The next time you order fuel, ask for blue coal by name. You don't have to get a full supply. Your nearest blue coal dealer will be glad to send you a trial ton. Phone him tomorrow.
Engine room.
Stand by for test number 11.
Engine room standing by, Commander.
Ship full speed ahead. What the? Engine room. Hello. Hello, engine room.
Chief Engineer Swain reporting. Boiler explosion, sir. 3 casualties, sir.
Good Lord, what happened, Commander? Boiler explosion, Lieutenant. Hard luck, sir. Luck nothing. You mean another case of sabotage? Yes, sabotage. Submarine L-21 calling submarine base. Submarine L-21 calling submarine base.
Submarine base answering L-21. Go ahead, L-21.
Submarine L-21 in distress. Submarine L-21 down off Diamond Head. Cannot rise. Emergency. Emergency. Pumps damaged. Looks like sabotage. Looks like sabotage. Cruiser returning to base. Cruiser returning to base. Explosion. Explosion in after gun turret. 3 dead. 6 wounded. Suspect sabotage. Suspect sabotage.
Good Lord. Hello. 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 Sentry post number 4 reporting. Explosion and fire. Explosion and fire and destroyer dry dock. Sag Island Shipyard! Sag Island Shipyard!
X3! Sabotage ring strikes Sag Island Shipyard! Read all about it! Mysterious explosion and fire wrecks
Hey, fellas, here's Admiral Teely now. Well, what are the findings of the board, Admiral?
Yeah, Admiral, what's the dope on this sabotage ring? Gentlemen, the board has authorized me to make this statement to the press.
Let's have it, Admiral.
Yeah, let's have the lowdown, Admiral. Our inquiry indicates that all ships affected by recent acts of sabotage have all been built, reconditioned, or repaired in the Sag Island yard.
Sag Island, eh?
Yes, and every resource at the command of the government is being directed toward the apprehension of those responsible for the systematic blows at the naval defense strength of the United States.
Lamont Cranston, would you mind telling me where you've been for the past 5 days? I was nearly frantic until I got your call asking me to meet you. And why those old clothes, and why haven't you shaved?
I'm sorry, Margot. I've been at Sag Island.
Sag Island? You mean where they're having all the trouble in the shipyard?
Yes, it seemed to be a case where the Shadow might be of some use to his country.
You've uncovered something. Is that why you sent for me, Lamont?
I'm not sure, but I stumbled on something last night. It's been a process of elimination.
Where are we going? Back to Sag Island?
Yes, we're almost there now.
Lamont, have you anything definite to work on? It seems so hopeless.
You forget, Margot, that I, as the Shadow, have a certain gift.
You mean what the underworld call the power of invisibility?
Yes, and the ability to read other men's minds, particularly the mind of a man who has something to hide.
But you've got to find that man first, Lamont.
I know.
Do you mean that out of the 3,000 men in the Sag Island shipyard, you found the one man who has eluded the Secret Service, the police, and everyone for weeks?
I think I have, Margot. I'll know for sure tonight.
What do you want me to do, Lamont? We're coming into Sag Island now.
I want you to go to the Sag Island Hotel, take a room, and set up the shortwave radio outfit. You brought it, didn't you?
Yes, it's in the baggage compartment.
Good. Now listen, Margot. Tune in the wave I use as the Shadow and wait. Wait all night if necessary. Stop the car here, Margot.
Yes. Lamont, I know you don't believe in woman's intuition. At least you pretend not to.
On the contrary, I have a healthy respect for intuition. Now be careful. I have a premonition myself.
Lamont, can't you tell me anything more?
I can only tell you I'm going into that bar down the street. If this man is the one I think he is, we will have a very interesting visit in that bar.
Hey,
Hey, bartender, set him up again.
Yeah, one more round.
I'm done, boys. It's closing time.
All right. Come on, Jake.
Okay. Good night. Come on, Bill, let's go.
Good night, boys. Good night.
Holy mackerel, 2 o'clock already.
An hour passes quickly when a man is talking about himself, Mr. Buckler.
What? What have I been talking about? What have I... Say, who the devil are you, anyway? If you're one of them Secret Service guys trying to pump me, you're barking up the wrong tree.
I'm not a Secret Service man.
And then what's your game?
What's yours?
You're not looking for a job. You're a phony. I have a good notion to turn you over to the cops. They're rounding up guys like you.
Sit down, Buckler. Listen to me, or you'll get us both in trouble.
Who sent you here? Who told you to look me up?
Would it help if I told you what you're thinking, Buckler?
Quit stalling. Who sent you?
It's running through your mind over and over again. I see it like a picture on a slate. You're thinking, did Arnheim send him? Did Arnheim send him?
You're a liar. I never mentioned Arnheim's name. Never heard of him.
Then why are you thinking of a name you never heard? Don't be a fool, Buckler. I know.
What do you know? What did he send you for? What's wrong? Why didn't he...
Yes.
Nothing. Quit staring at me like that, or I...
You were going to say, why didn't Arnheim tell me himself? Suppose we go ask him.
No, he don't want anybody to know. If you're in on this, you ought to know that. Listen, you. I don't know how much you know or how much...
Hey, you two, it's past closing time. Come on, I'll clear out. Tomorrow's another day.
My friend and I were just leaving.
Yeah? Well, you'll have to go out to the alley. I locked up the front door, and I ain't unlocking it again.
Come along, Buckler. We can finish our talk on the way.
On the way to where?
Come along, I'll show you.
All right. We can cut through the alley. We can talk on the way.
Yes, we can talk. After you, Buckler.
Okay, come on. Hey, come on, what's the idea? We're going down the dark alley, ain't we? Hey, you, cut the comedy and come on.
Your companion has left you, Mr. Buckler. He saw your hand slip into that pocket where you carry a blackjack. He saw the picture in your mind. And knowing you meant to crush his skull, he asked me to take his place.
What is this, a frame-up? Who was that guy? Who are you?
Steve Buckler, you're a traitor. You're selling your birthright, your honor, your country's safety for money you'll never live to collect.
How do you know all that? Who are you, anyway?
This is your first excursion in crime, isn't it, Buckler?
What difference does that make? Who are you? What do you want?
If you had any contact with the underworld, you wouldn't have to ask who I am. Have you ever heard of the Shadow, Steve Buckler?
The Shadow. So that's it. That's who you are. The man who can hide anywhere that no one has ever seen.
Yes, Buckler. The man no one has ever seen. Don't move. Shall I tell you what you're thinking? I see the picture inside your head. You're thinking you'd kill me if you could only see me.
You're like that other guy. You can't tell what I'm thinking. All right, you got me dead to rights. What do you want me to do?
Stop taking orders from Arnheim.
Is that all? You mean you're not going to turn me over to the Secret Service?
No. No, I'm going to give you one more chance, Steve Buckler. One last chance.
The Shadow's adventure will continue in just a moment. Meanwhile, thousands of homeowners are engaged in another kind of adventure. An adventure in home heating involving the health of your family. I am referring to the purchase of fuel. You know, if you order just any kind of coal, it's a gamble. But it's a gamble you don't have to take. Baltimore families, for example, have found out how to eliminate the risk in fuel buying. They order blue coal by name. That's why the sale of blue coal in Baltimore so far this winter is 40% ahead of sales for the same period a year ago. And this is happening in many other cities. Here is real proof that blue coal, the cream of Pennsylvania anthracite, is by actual test the best of all fuels. It is the only solid fuel actually trademarked with a harmless blue color, so that you can tell at a glance that it is the fuel that gives low-cost heating. It is the fuel to buy for cleanliness. Baltimore homeowners like the steady, long-burning qualities of blue coal. This is a decided advantage compared to other fuels requiring so much attention. The Glen Alden Coal Company prepared blue coal especially for home use in 4 home sizes: egg, stove, chestnut, or peak. So I urge all homeowners throughout this area to find out what thousands of Baltimore families have already learned about the greater comfort, convenience, and economy of blue coal. Order your trial ton of blue coal tomorrow. You will find the name of your nearest blue coal dealer in the Where to Buy It section of your classified telephone directory under the name of Blue Coal.
Margot Lane. Margot Lane. Stand by. Stand by. I have found our man. He is meeting someone. The shadow will be with them. Stand by.
Who's there? Who's there?
It's Rigo. Let me in, Buckler.
Oh, okay. Where's Arnheim? Why didn't he come?
What makes you think he'd be fool enough to come here just because you sent word you're in trouble?
I've got to see him. I've got to talk to him, Rigo.
What's the matter with you? The Secret Service men been asking you questions again?
No, they don't suspect anything. But somebody else is after us. Somebody knows Arnheim is back of all this sabotage.
Well, who is it? Come on, Buckler, out with it.
Let go of me and I'll tell you. It's the Shadow.
The Shadow. Don't give me that.
It's the truth. That's why I phoned Arnheim. I got to have the money he promised me. I got to get away from here.
Listen, you fool. How did the Shadow get wise to you? How much does he know?
I'm not sure, Ivan.
How did he find out unless you told him?
I didn't tell him, but he can read your mind. Listen, you got to take me to Arnheim. I got to get away.
How did you get away from the Shadow?
He let me go. Said he was giving me one last chance.
You're lying, Buckler. People don't get away from the Shadow. He doesn't let them go unless they're working for him. Listen, if you're trying to pull a double cross on Arnheim, you'll never live to tell it.
I'm telling you the truth, Rigo. You got to believe me.
All right. Maybe you are. But it just happens we've got another job for you that'll prove whether you're on the level with Arnheim or not.
I can't do anything more. The Shadow knows I'm responsible for all those accidents. He'll find me. You can't hide from anybody like that.
He'll find you dead if you don't do as you're told. Besides, Buckler, you'd like to get that $50,000 Arnheim promised you, wouldn't you?
I've done more than he asked already. I've earned that $50,000 a dozen times over.
Maybe you have. But you don't get it unless you carry out Arnheim's orders. Well, this is the last. It'll be easy for you. And it won't take you long. I'll wait for you. Take you to Arnheim's place. He'll pay you off and you can be on your way. And what about it, Buckler?
What does he want this time?
It's that battle cruiser that's going out on a trial run in the morning.
It's too late to tamper with anything now, Rigo.
So what? You're turbine inspector. You're scheduled to go along. We know that.
But how? What can I do? It's too late, I tell you.
I'll show you what you're going to do. You see this metal tube?
Yeah. What do you want me to do with it?
You're going aboard the cruiser and plant that inside some piece of machinery. Some place where it'll get smashed when the engines start.
What's in that tube?
Oh, nothing much. Just enough nitroglycerin to tear the turbines out of that cruiser.
No, I won't do it. It'd kill every man in the engine room.
It won't be the first time, Buckler.
I couldn't carry that thing into the yard. They're searching everybody, Rigo.
Quit stalling, will you? We know they don't search inspectors. That's why you've been so useful.
All right. Suppose I can get it in the machinery. Get off the ship before she sails. How do I know Arnheim will keep his word? Pay me off and let me get away.
I didn't come here to bargain with you, Buckler. All I know is Arnheim told me to bring you back after you'd carried out his orders.
All right. I'll do it. But this is the last time. Give me that tube.
Now you're talking. But look out for that stuff. It's touchy. Well, come on. What are you waiting for?
You better go first.
Nothing doing. I'm making sure you get to the yard. That cruiser sails with the flood tide. And don't try anything because I'll be waiting for you in my car when you come out. Well, come on.
Margot Lane. Margot Lane. Drive to shipyard. Watch for black sedan parked in front of red brick building. Our man is Steve Buckler, ship inspector. I am following him into shipyard to prevent another accident. Margot, don't lose sight of that black sedan. It will lead us to the real head of the sabotage ring.
Morning, Mr. Buckler.
Oh. Morning, Lieutenant.
Giving the turbines a bit of final inspection before we start on the trial run?
Yeah. I thought I'd have a look around.
Go right ahead. I have to check the gauges. Let me know if you find anything that needs adjustment.
I'll let you know, Lieutenant. I'll show Arnheim.
I'll show him I'm not afraid to go through with this. There, now. Just wait till those turbines start spinning. Till they smash that metal tube of nitroglycerin. Just wait.
Everything look all right, Mr. Buckler?
Yeah. Yeah, everything's fine. Just fine, Lieutenant. Bye.
Yes. Everything will be just fine. Just a moment. As soon as I've removed this tube of nitroglycerin that Buckler put in the turbine.
Margot, wait a minute.
Oh, Lamont, thank heavens you're here. There goes that black sedan.
It's Buckler and a man named Rigo. Follow them and don't get too close.
What happened in the shipyard?
Well, Buckler tried to carry out another sabotage job for a man named Arnheim. He's the man we want.
Did you stop Buckler?
Yes, but he doesn't know it. Don't have an accident, Margot. We'll be scattered all over the landscape. Careful, Margot.
What do you mean?
Just that this metal tube I'm carrying contains enough nitroglycerin to blow us to Kingdom Come if it's jolted hard enough.
Where'd you get it, Lamont? From Buckler?
Yes, he left it in a gearbox at the battle cruiser.
Oh, so that's why you followed him into the
Slow
shipyard.
down, Margot. You're getting too close to that car. Yes. I had to stop that murderous scheme, even if it meant losing track of Buckler and Rigo.
But do you think they'll lead us to this man who seems to be behind all this? Arnheim?
I'm sure of it.
Look, Lamont, they're turning in that big estate.
Quick, Margot. Pull off the road and stop.
Yes. Lamont, look at the sign. Redland Sanitarium. This doesn't look like a place where Arnheim would have his headquarters.
That's probably why he selected it. Well, Margot, this is it.
Lamont, you're not going in there alone.
Yes, the Shadow is going to return this little metal instrument of death to Dr. Arnheim in person.
Doctor?
Yes, just look at that sign, Margot. Redland Sanitarium, Dr. Felix Arnheim, resident physician.
Oh, please don't go in there alone, Lamont. Let's notify the state police. We can. I have the radio transmitter in the car.
Good, and I want you to call the state police on the regular wavelength 5 minutes after I've gone in the house.
Well, why not call them now?
Margot, we're not dealing with amateurs. They're undoubtedly prepared against police raids. If the police blunder in there, they'll only find an empty house. I've got to go in there alone.
Don't take that nitroglycerin with you, Lamont.
Well, Margot, I must. This tube of concentrated death is an important part of my plan to hold those men in that house until the police break in.
Oh, don't, Lamont. You said you had a premonition, remember?
Don't worry. Call the police, and in 5 minutes, which is in the lap of the gods.
And in the hands of the Shadow.
Well, Rigo?
Here he is, Dr. Arnheim.
So you have to come to tell me you're afraid, Mr. Buckler. You wish to go away. Far away.
Yes. Yes, I know when I've had enough. And I want that $50,000, and I want it quick.
So, have you carried out my last instructions?
Yes, I have. And that's the finish. Pay me off and let me get away from here.
I'm afraid we must wait until we are sure of the success of your latest venture in sabotage, Mr. Buckler.
Listen, Arnheim. Finding that nitroglycerin on the cruiser will be traced to me an hour after the explosion. Every Secret Service agent in this country will be after me.
We will see that they do not find you.
I'll see to that myself. You'll give me that $50,000 and let me get out of here now, or I'll...
Oh, what? Keep him covered, Mr. Rigo.
Don't make a move, Buckler. I hate to shoot men in the back.
What were you going to do if we don't pay you, Mr. Buckler?
Arnheim, I'm warning you. Tell Rigo not to shoot. Do you think I didn't know you'd try something like this? You think I'd come here without an ace up my sleeve?
Go on, Mr. Buckler.
Just this. This little bottle filled with some of the nitroglycerin you sent me to plant on the cruiser. You know what'll happen if I throw it, and I'll throw it if Rigo shoots.
Mr. Buckler, you're bluffing. That metal tube was sealed and could not be opened.
You're crazy. I opened it. Poured a little out of it.
Rigo. I think Mr. Buckler has served us long enough. He wants to go far away. I think we should help him.
No. I've done everything you wanted. You can't kill me. You'll be caught.
Mr. Buckler, this is a sanitarium. Many persons have died here. It is quite useful. The police think nothing of one death, more or less.
Are you sure there's no nitro in that bottle, Doctor?
Quite sure. I think now, Mr. Rigo.
No, don't. The Shadow warned me. I should have listened. Listen to the Shadow.
Very good, Mr. Rigo. This American man of mystery, the Shadow, he interests me. You told me something over the telephone.
Yes, he got to Buckler last night. Makes himself invisible. As I told you over the phone, I think we'd better get out of the country for a while.
Because of this, Shadow? He's just a man using hypnotic forces that affect men's minds.
Maybe, but once he gets on your trail, there's no shaking him off.
But I know something about such forces.
He can appear in a room without being seen.
Some call it the powers of angels or devils, but it's the art of mesmerism. Hypnotic suggestion is very old, and certain men of modern science have developed it amazingly.
Well, no matter how he does it, I don't want to meet this Shadow.
In that case, Mr. Rigo, will you be so kind as to remove that body? I dislike the presence of the dead.
All right, I'll take care. I'll be in the cellar if you need me.
I shall not need you.
Say, what's funny, Doc? What are you grinning about?
I am looking forward to a conversation I'm going to have.
Somebody coming here?
Not exactly. Don't concern yourself, Mr. Rigo. This is something beyond your comprehension.
Okay. I'll be on tap if you need me.
What are you waiting for, Shadow?
Why don't you speak?
How long have you known I was in this room, Doctor? For quite some minutes, Shadow. While I'm not a master of your art of invisibility, my mind is sensitive to such a forceful concentration as you exert to cloak your presence.
I see. Since you sent Rigo away, it is evident you are not afraid of me.
Fear is a luxury I do not allow myself, Shadow.
Your career of sabotage is over, Dr. Arnheim.
I think not. I have never met a man who did not have a price, Shadow.
I have only one price for your kind, Doctor. Prison.
You could be very valuable to me, Shadow.
Don't reach into that drawer, Doctor. A gun is of no use.
A gun? That is a crude way of settling a difference of opinion. But, money, I can pay well.
Money won't help you.
Then you leave me no alternative. You see this little wheel set into this wall?
Yes?
I turn it, and...
Gas.
Yes, Shadow, gas. The room is airtight. Has served me well on other occasions, Shadow. You can't get out. The door is locked on the outside.
What good will it do you to kill me if you also die?
I'm not going to kill you or myself with this gas.
What then?
Just enough gas will be liberated to numb your powers of concentration. Enough to destroy your ability to remain invisible. You can't resist it, Shadow. And just the moment you will weaken, become visible, and the moment I see you, the moment I catch the faintest glimpse of a shadowy form, I shoot. The air's becoming quite heavy, Shadow.
Yes, but... Listen, Dr. Arnheim. The police are closing in, Doctor.
So, you don't trust your own powers. You had to have the police to help you.
In a few minutes, the place will be surrounded.
That is all the time I need. You will become visible. I shall kill you. And then...
And then?
I take the police a little while to break into this room. When they do, they will find a dead Shadow. But I shall not be here. This door behind me leads to a passageway which leads to a bay. A speedboat awaits me there.
I know about the speedboat, Dr. Arnheim.
You see? The gas is doing its work. You're weakening. Your power of invisibility is losing its... What is it, Rigo?
Doctor, quick, the police, the passageway. The speedboat is ready, we can make it. Hey, what are you doing with that gas? What's the idea?
Wait, Rigo. The Shadow. He is here in this room. In just a moment, he will become visible.
But you haven't time to wait. The police are already in the house.
Don't try to escape in that speedboat. I have turned it into a death trap, Dr. Arnheim.
Come, quick, or it'll be too late.
Wait, Dr. Arnheim. Death is waiting for you in that speedboat. A violent death of your own making.
No, you can't bluff me.
Don't listen to him, Doctor. Hurry.
All right. But remember, Shadow, we shall meet again.
I'm afraid not, my friend. But first, let me turn off this gas.
Search the place. Call everybody you find.
Wilson, Harvey, Jameson, you men take me upstairs. Right, you follow me. Try that room, Sergeant.
Okay.
Captain, this room's full of gas.
Sergeant, that iron door there. Try it.
Looks like they skipped. What was that? Sounded like an explosion down near the water.
Yes, it was an explosion, gentlemen. And there will be no more wrecking of warships. It was the tube of nitroglycerin, intended for the new battle cruiser by Dr. Arnheim, and placed in the gears of the good doctor's own speedboat. For the compliment of the shadow.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the shadow leaves you, here's John Barclay, Blue Coal's heating expert. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barclay.
Thank you, Ken Roberts. Good evening, friends. I'll venture to say plenty of you homeowners listening in have heating problems that you'd like to have straightened out right away. If that's the case, here's what you do. Phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer and ask him to send one of my John Barclay servicemen to your home. Thousands of people are enjoying new heating benefits by following the free advice of John Barclay servicemen. For example, here's what a man in Newark, New Jersey writes about getting better, more efficient results from the Blue Coal heating service. I quote, "Since doing just as we were advised by your young man, we're getting better, steadier heat than we've ever had before. At any time, I'm happy to recommend Blue Coal and your heating service. Friends, why don't you take advantage of this wonderful heating service? Remember, it's yours absolutely free. It is part of the service that goes with Blue Coal. Just phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer. He'll be glad to send a John Barclay serviceman to inspect your heating plant. Be sure to ask that serviceman about the Blue Coal heat regulator. That inexpensive, up-to-the-minute thermostat will give you more uniform, more economical heat than you can get with the most costly oil burner. I thank you."
Thank you, Mr. Barclay. And friends, profit by Mr. Barclay's advice. Have a John Barclay serviceman stop at your home. Phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer tomorrow. You have just heard a dramatized version of one of the many copyrighted stories which appear in the Shadow magazine. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows.
Next week, same time, same station, Blue Coal, America's finest anthracite, will again present another thrilling adventure of the Shadow. Be sure to listen, and be sure to burn Blue Coal, the solid fuel for solid comfort.
The shadow knows.
Blue Coal presents The Shadow, the mystery man who strikes terror into the very hearts of shopsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Today, the Society of the Living Dead. In just a moment, the Shadow's exciting adventure will begin. Meanwhile, I have an important message for all you homeowners. We are now in the midst of the most treacherous season of the entire year. But you can protect your family's health during this danger period by burning Blue Coal. For Blue Coal gives you clean, uniform, healthful heat all winter long. And its harmless blue coloring is your guarantee of better heat at less cost. So when you order fuel, insist on Blue Coal. It's Pennsylvania's finest anthracite. Your nearest Blue Coal dealer will be glad to send you a trial ton. Phone him tomorrow.
Hello. Daily Classic? City desk.
Yes, go ahead, Turner.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith are being held in Holly Military Prison as spies. The Smiths are believed not to be American citizens.
What?
Yes. The Prime Minister was handed a note by American ambassador this morning.
Yes, go ahead.
American State Department reported investigating circumstance under which the Smith passports were issued.
Good work, Turner. Keep feeding it.
Yes, sir?
Hold the presses for a new front-page story. London correspondent is on the wire. This phony passport racket is being uncovered.
New York, New York. More news on the Smith case. Mr. and Mrs. Smith are not citizens. A fake passport and identification ring is expected. The name Schwartz was taken from tombstones to secure passports. More startling disclosures are promised by federal agents and local authorities who suspect widespread plot.
Will you turn that radio off?
All right, Margot. Well, a fake passport and identification racket interests me.
The Scotland Yard in England, the State Department of Washington, and a whole New York police force working on that fake passport racket. Do you have to get mixed up in it?
You see, Margot, it ties up with a case that interests me.
You mean the suicide of your broker, Henry Adams?
Yes.
But Lamont, what possible connection could there be? I don't see it.
Well, I didn't see any connection either until today, although Adams never struck me as being the type of man who would commit suicide.
His body was found 2 weeks ago, and they buried him right afterwards in the family vault in Kingman Cemetery. Seems to me that's what you might call a closed case.
I don't agree, Margot. I noticed in one of the gossip columns the other day a remark that interested me very much.
What is that?
An item that said that Irene Adams, the orphan daughter of Henry Adams, was being courted by Ray Kelvin.
Oh, Ray Kelvin was Henry Adams' partner, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. But what interested me even more was another item which said that Ray Kelvin was very friendly with a man named Berger, who, according to all reports, is a very questionable character.
I don't see the connection, Lamont.
Well, but much of the evidence points to Berger being mixed up in his business.
Oh, you mean that fake passport and identification ring that we just heard about on the radio?
Yes. Margot, I want you to call on Adams's orphan daughter. Her name is Irene. Pose as a reporter. Ask her about the rumors of her coming marriage with Kelvin and find out if she actually saw the face of her father at any time after his death.
All right, Lamont. Where will you be when I get back?
I'll phone you at my office.
Are you going to visit Berger as Lamont Cranston?
No, Margot, I rather think Berger will be more impressed if I visit him with a shadow.
I'm so sorry, Miss Adams. I know it's hard to talk to a stranger about such personal things so soon after your father's tragic death.
Yes. True that my father didn't want me to marry Mr. Kelvin. It seems so unfair. Ray Kelvin was his own partner in business.
But you are going to marry Mr. Kelvin.
Yes. I wanted to wait. It was soon after Father's death. But Ray has to go away. To Europe. He may be gone for years.
Oh, I see. Mr. Kelvin's leaving the country. But isn't he indicted on a stock swindling charge?
Yes. Oh, but he says we'll soon have proof that he didn't have anything to do with it.
Miss Adams, don't you realize that Mr. Kelvin can only clear himself by proving that your own father was the swindler?
No. Ray wouldn't do that.
Did you ever see your father after they found his body in the river?
No. Mr. Kelvin said I shouldn't. He said it would only upset me.
Do you believe your father committed suicide, Miss Adams?
No. I can't bring myself to believe that of Dad.
What does Ray Kelvin think about your father's death?
Ray said it was suicide. But Dad was worried over what would happen when they tried him on that stock swindle charge.
But don't you see, Miss Adams, Kelvin, your fiancé, has been implying all along that your father is a swindler. That he's going to clear himself by pinning the guilt on your father.
No, I can't believe that.
That's why your father opposed your marriage to Kelvin.
No. Why are you saying these things? You have no right. Please go.
Yes, I am going, Miss Adams. I'm so sorry if I've hurt you, but I believe you're going to thank me for keeping you from marrying a treacherous thief. Perhaps even a murderer.
What do you mean? Who are you talking about?
Your dead father's partner. Your fiancé, Ray Kelvin.
All right, Kelvin. What's on your mind?
Now listen, Berger, I want action. I won't be safe till I get Adams to sign a confession taking full blame for that stock swindle.
Yeah. I see you got the confession all ready for Adams to sign.
Yes. Stated the day he was supposed to have jumped in the river.
How are you going to account for not having produced the confession until now?
That's easy. I'll just tell the authorities that in going over his papers, I've just found it. And
The government will have to dismiss the charges against me when I produce this confession signed by Adams.
What are you going to do with Adams after he signs?
That's where you and your man in the morgue come in. You've got the papers that were on the man who was buried in Adams' place. All you have to do is put those papers on Adams when we dump him in the river.
What? That's murder. I've never gone that far before.
And you've never been paid $10,000 before either. Now, come on, quit stalling. Get your hat and coat. We're going to finish this job now.
Oh, wait a minute, Calvin, wait a minute. I'll give you back that money. Every cent of it. No, I'm afraid of this.
Berger, what was that? Somebody laughed here in this office.
Yes, Kelvin. It is the laughter that has echoed through the mind of many a killer during his last hours in the death house.
Who is that, Berger?
Calvin, there's nobody here.
Yes, Mr. Berger. The shadow is here.
The shadow? Calvin, did you hear that? The shadow. He knows. He's not everything. You can't go through with it now.
Yes, Kelvin. I know everything.
Yes? Well, I've heard about you, Shadow. The man who has the power to make himself invisible. I know how you do it. Hypnotic suggestion. Hindu mesmerism. Oriental trickery. Well, you don't scare me.
Your murderous scheme is doomed to failure, Kelvin. Give it up before it is too late.
Yeah, listen to him, Calvin. Adams is still alive. We haven't murdered him yet.
No, but we've kidnapped him and we'll burn for that if we're caught. Only we're not going to be caught, shadow or no shadow. Come on, Berger. You're coming with me.
No, don't make me go through with it, Calvin.
Come on.
Don't.
I'll show you what I think of the shadow. Come on, or I'll drill you where you stand. And the shadow if he tries to stop me.
You've had your warning, Kelvin. Remember.
Come on, Berger, get going. And as for you, Shadow, here's a warning from me. If you follow us, I'll find a way to kill you. Remember that.
Hello, Lamont Cranston's office.
Hello, Margot Lane.
Lamont, I talked to Irene Adams. She never saw her father after he died.
Henry Adams isn't dead, Margot.
Oh, Lamont, are you sure? Where is he?
I don't know, but Berger and Kelvin are on their way to the place where they're holding him, and I'm following them.
Lamont, Kelvin is planning to marry Irene Adams and leave the country in a few days.
Much can happen in a few days, Margot, even in a few hours.
Lamont, let me meet you. Go with you. Maybe I can help.
You can help me most by standing by with a shortwave radio. Keep it tuned in on the band the Shadow always uses.
All right, Lamont. But now you've discovered that Mr. Adams is alive, why don't you let the police handle it?
As far as the police are concerned, Henry Adams is dead. Buried, a closed case.
I guess you're right, but what about Berger and Kelvin? Do they know the Shadow is on their trail?
Yes, and Kelvin has dared the Shadow to follow him.
Lamont, it may be a trap, a trick to get you someplace where all your powers won't save you, where you'll be helpless. Lamont, please don't go. Please.
Margot, I must follow Berger and Kelvin. If they lead me to Adams, I may need help. Stand by, Margot. Stand by until you hear from the Shadow.
The Shadow will return in just a moment. But first, I have a word of warning for you homeowners. Throughout this dangerous winter season, don't subject your family to needless colds and illness resulting from uneven on and off type heating. Thousands of careful homeowners are taking steps to avoid this risk. They're playing safe by ordering blue coal. For instance, blue coal sales in the city of Rochester for the current winter season are 20% ahead of last year's figure, and numerous other cities show similar increases. Here's why blue coal is preferred by so many people. Blue coal is a selected Pennsylvania anthracite, the fuel that gives off cleaner, more uniform, more dependable heat than any other coal. What's more, furnaces, parlor stoves, and cooking ranges in this part of the country were especially designed to burn anthracite. And the cream of all American anthracite is blue coal. The harmless blue coloring with which blue coal is tinted is your all-time guarantee of better heat at less cost. Blue coal is mined by the Glen Alden Coal Company, and every carload is tested and retested for purity and uniform sizing before shipment. What's more, blue coal is especially prepared for home use. You can get it in the 4 popular domestic sizes: egg, stove, chestnut, or pea. So be guided in your fuel selection by Rochester Family. For health and economy, too, insist on blue coal. Ask for it by name. Order a trial ton from your nearest blue coal dealer tomorrow. You'll find his name listed in the Where to Buy It section of your classified telephone directory under the name Blue Coal.
Come on, Kelvin. Let's get this over with.
What's the matter with you, Berger? You're jumpy as a cat.
I know. It's the shadow. I'm scared. If you had any sense, you'd be scared, too.
Oh, forget the shadow.
Yeah? But suppose he's trailed us. Here. To Kingland Cemetery.
Now listen to me, Berger. Your job is to make Adams sign that confession. The shadow has developed superstitious fear in the underworld by means of his magician's tricks. He's dealing now with intelligent people who don't believe in hocus pocus. Why, there isn't one chance in 1,000 the shadow's been able to follow us here.
What'll you do if he has? Huh? What can you do?
You leave the shadow to me. I'll deal with him if he comes. It's the Adams grave wall just ahead, isn't it?
Yeah. It's that underground vault on the left.
You have the keys to the vault?
Yeah, right here.
I'll get the vault door open.
Yeah. Give me a hand with this door. Oh, we got a ton.
Be careful Adams doesn't get out. Where's your flashlight?
Right here. There's Adams. On the floor in the corner. What'd I tell you? I bet he's so weak he can't crawl, much less run.
Berger, he looks like he's dead. If he is, the whole scheme's ruined. I warned you to be careful.
He ain't dead. I know a dead one when I see one. He's just sleeping, that's all.
Wake him up, and we'll see if he's ready to listen to reason.
He'll listen. Come on, Adams. Come on. Wake up. Hey, snap out of it.
What? Who are you?
Never mind who I am. Come on.
Sit up. Are you going to take me out of this tomb? Are you?
Yeah, you're going to get out. All you have to do is sign your name to a piece of paper.
Water. Give me a drink. All I've had for days is the moisture on the stones. And nothing to eat. Nothing.
I got something better than water. Look at this brandy will set you up.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. How did you find out they'd locked me up in this grave vault? I thought they were going to leave me here till I died. And then put me in that coffin there, in place of that corpse that's supposed to be me.
Never mind about that now. You're going to have a chance to get out of this grave alive, if you do as you're told.
Listen, Berger, quit wasting time. Here's the confession and a pen. Make him sign it.
Kelvin, you... I couldn't see with a flashlight in my eyes. You, my own trusted partner. You're behind this. You've done this to me. You stole those securities. Framed me.
Sure I did. You're innocent. But if you want to get out of this family vault of yours, you'll take the blame. Sign this confession.
I won't. I'll never sign it.
Oh, yes, you will.
Oh, cut it out, Kelvin. You can't have much of that in the shape he's in. Do you want to kill him? I won't sign it. I won't. A confession for me would clear you, Kelvin. Put the blame on me. Leave you free to marry my daughter, Irene. You made her think I drowned myself. I'm innocent of the swindling charge. You're the guilty one.
You'll sign that confession or I'll break every bone in your body.
Oh. I told you to go easy.
Yeah, Adams is out cold.
Shut up. Help me bring him around. The shadow on our trail, there's no time to lose.
Yeah, I know. And I give plenty to know where the shadow is right now.
What would you give, Berger?
Kelly! He's here! The shadow's here in the moment!
Berger, turn off the flashlight.
Now you think we're on even terms. Don't you, Kelvin? You can't see me in the dark of the tomb. And you think I cannot see you?
Yes, that's right, Shadow.
Kelvin! Where are you going?
Stay away now, Berger. You too, Shadow. I may not be able to see you, but if you come close enough to try to stop me closing the door of this vault, I'll kill you full of lead.
Kelvin, don't leave me.
You're no use to me anymore, Berger. You can thank the Shadow for that.
You ain't gonna leave me in here to die! You dirty, double-crossing rat!
All right, Berger, I'll do you one last favor. I won't leave you to die from thirst and hunger.
You'll be luckier than Adams in the shadow. Come on, Burger. Try to get out before I close this steel door.
No, give me a break, Calvin. Don't give me a chance. Have the gun on me, you know that.
Yes, Burger, I know that. Come on, I was just fooling.
Oh, you mean I killed him? You mean...
So, Kelvin, you shot Berger and added murder to your other crime.
You'll never get out of this vault to tell about it, Shadow. You've cheated me out of a chance to beat that swindle indictment. You've ruined my chance of getting Irene with her Adams' money. Well, now you're going to have plenty of time to wish you'd never meddled in this. You'll have the pleasure of watching Adams die. He's almost dead now. And when he's gone, you'll have the company of 3 dead men. 3 dead men waiting for you to join them. Goodbye, Shadow.
You can lock that steel door, Kelvin. But somehow the Shadow will still get out.
All right, Shadow. Let's see you try it.
Shadow. Shadow. Kelvin double-crossed me. I'm done for all right. What about you? Can you get out of this place like you said?
The police will be here in a few minutes.
You told them to come here, you mean?
No, but I'm going to. No. Margot Lane. Margot Lane. Notify Commissioner Weston to pick up Ray Kelvin. Have him send a squad of men to Kingman Cemetery. Have them open the grave vault of Henry Adams. Adams is alive, but in a critical condition. Margot, don't come into the cemetery yourself. Kelvin is at large. Notify Police Commissioner Weston at once.
So, Shadow, you're calling the cops.
Shadow, it's Kelvin. He's at that air vent at the top of the vault. He heard you calling the cops.
Yes, I heard you, Shadow. And if you think the police are going to get here in time to save you, you're mistaken.
Every minute you waste in gloating brings you nearer the electric chair, Kelvin.
Don't waste your sympathy on me, Shadow. I wonder what you look like when the cops find you with Berger and Adams. All of you drowned like rats in a trap. Because that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to drown like rats in a trap. Listen.
He's going to fill the vault full of water, Shadow.
Yes, right up to the top. And it won't take long. Too bad for you, I found a fire hose in the groundkeeper's shed. Now let the police come. They're welcome to anything they can get out of any of you when they get here. So long, Shadow. Let's see you get out of that spot.
Shadow. Come.
Water. Water. Yes, water. Water.
Shadow. The water's near deep on the floor already.
Yes, and it's rising every minute. Our only hope is that the police will get here in time.
Use that radio of yours. Tell them what's happened. Tell them to hurry.
Radio transmitter is wet. You sent the last appeal for help.
Help me, Shadow. Help me.
You deserve no help, Berger. You left Adams here to die.
Calvin made me do it. I never did anything like this before. I ran a fake passport identification racket, that's all. I never killed anybody. It's very sad. Water. It's getting deeper. Deeper. Water.
There's only one high place in this tomb.
One high place.
On top of the casket. The casket of the man you buried and made the world believe was Henry Adams.
Who left me up there? What's down here on the floor? Irene.
No, Berger. No.
Help me.
I won't lift you up. Adams is too weak to stand. There's only room for one on top of that coffin. And if anyone is to have a few extra minutes of life, Adams will get it.
What are you going to do?
Put Adams on top of the coffin. His life is worth a dozen like yours.
Irene. Irene. Forgive me. I was afraid you were going to marry Kelvin. I knew he was treacherous. A thief. Coward. Shadow. In God's name, help me up. Help me on my feet. Lay me against the wall. I'll do that much for me.
Yes, Berger. I'll do that much for you. It's all I can do.
Thanks, Shadow. Here I am, trying to save myself from drowning, so that I can die of bullet wound. Here I am, being lifted by a man whose hands I can feel on my arms, but I can't see. Maybe it isn't happening. Maybe it's a dream.
Please, this is death!
No, Berger, this is not death. This is real. You're still alive, and I am here, and Adams is here. The water is rising all around us. Up to our waists now.
What about you, Shadow? I've heard queer things about you that you couldn't be killed. Can't you get out of here, huh?
Even though I have the power of invisibility, I cannot walk through solid stone walls. No windows, no other opening but that door.
Try it. Try it this time. Maybe it didn't lock when Kelvin closed it, huh? Maybe. Try something, Shadow. Try anything.
Yes, but I guess I might be a chance. I'm going to try to break down the door. Useless, Berger.
You mean you can't even save yourself?
No, I can't even save myself. Help doesn't come soon if this vault fills to the roof. The Shadow will die as quickly as you, Berger.
No. Not quite as quick. I'm finished, Shadow. Thanks to Kelvin's bullets. I won't drown.
No. And perhaps you were lucky after all, Berger.
Irene, help me. Help me.
Listen to me. Help is coming. But it will be too late unless you help yourself. Kelvin is filling this tomb with water. He's up to the top of the coffin you're lying on. Listen to me, Henry Adams. You must get up. Hold on to me or you will drown.
I can't. My strength is gone.
You must. You must. For Irene's sake.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I am the Shadow. I came here to save you, but I'm afraid I failed.
Shadow? A shadow?
It doesn't matter who or what I am.
Shadow, are you still there? Still alive?
No, Kelvin. The fascination of murder has drawn you back to the scene of your crime.
I just wanted to make sure of you, Shadow.
In that case, you'd better wait a few minutes longer, Kelvin.
Who is that? Who is that talking? It sounds like Kelvin. Irene, don't do it! Don't marry Kelvin! She'll marry me. With you and Berger and the Shadow out of the way, she'll never know, Adams. She'll never know.
Kelvin, do you hear that? You hear that, Kelvin? It's the police! Run for your life, Kelvin, or better still, fight them off! They're cheating you out of your triumph of death!
They're going to drown like rats. The police won't get me. They won't get you out of there in time. You'll drown! Drown like rats, you will! Get that man! Stop him! Stop! You will shoot! Let him have it! You win, Shadow. I got him. Okay, come on. Come on, men. Get the door of that vault open and see what's going on here.
Here are the keys I got from the watchman at the cemetery gate, Commissioner.
All right, get that door open.
Right. Commissioner, there's water spurting out around the sides and bottom of the door.
Good heavens. The vault's been flooded.
Commissioner, there's a tree clutching hose attached to the hydrant. It's pouring water into that vault.
Shut it off.
Okay.
Sergeant, open that door.
Yes, sir.
Look out, Sergeant.
Good heaven. The vault must have been filled with the roof.
Quick. Throw your flashlight on the floor.
Yes, sir. Commissioner, there's the man lying on top of that deck.
Come on, that man isn't dead. He's trying to get up. Yeah. Come on, here. Give me a hand with it.
Hi.
Come on. This must be Adams.
It is. Adams. Henry Adams. Commissioner Weston.
Shadow. It's the Shadow again.
Yes, Commissioner, it's the Shadow. You were just in time.
So I see. What's back of all this? Henry Adams committed suicide 2 weeks ago. He was buried in this vault. If this man is Adams, who's in that sealed casket?
Just one of the many unidentified men and women who find their way into the morgue, Commissioner. Foreign spies and secret agents pay big prices for passports issued in the names of those unidentified men and women.
Good heavens, Shadow.
But, Commissioner, the fake identification ring is smashed. And Berger, the leader, was killed. Commissioner, This is the end of the Society of the Living Dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the shadow leaves you, here's John Barclay, Blue Coal's heating expert. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barclay.
Thank you, Ken Roberts. Good evening, friends. Tonight I have some news for all you homeowners. When you buy Blue Coal, you're entitled to the free John Barclay service. At your request, a John Barclay serviceman will be sent to inspect your heating plant. No matter what your problem may be, he can solve it for you. And his valuable advice is yours, free of charge. Thousands of families are profiting by the John Barclay heating service. For instance, a woman in Roxbury, Massachusetts writes, I'm truly grateful for the valuable information given me by your John Barclay serviceman. I've learned more about saving coal and looking after my furnace this year than ever before. And friends, that's only one of the many expressions of satisfaction I receive every day. So for the very best results, I earnestly recommend that you burn Blue Coal in your heating plant and take advantage of the free John Barclay heating service. Phone your nearest Blue Coal dealer tomorrow. And here's another suggestion for you homeowners. Either write me in care of this station or send to Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, for my valuable free booklet, How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barclay. And friends, write to John Barclay or Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, and get your free copy of How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. You have just heard a dramatized version of one of the many copyrighted stories which appear in the Shadow magazine. All the characters and all the places named are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay.
Next week, same time, same station, Blue Coal, America's finest anthracite, will again present another thrilling adventure of the Shadow. Be sure to listen, and be sure to burn Blue Coal, the solid fuel for solid comfort.
The Shadow knows.
Blue Coal presents The Shadow, the mystery man who strikes terror into the very hearts of shopsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Today, the poison death. Today's exciting adventure with the Shadow will start in just a moment. But first, I have an unusual free offer of great interest to all listeners. John Barclay, Blue Coal's heating expert, has written a book, How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. And you can obtain a copy of this attractively illustrated 24-page book absolutely without charge. Just address Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, or write to Blue Coal in care of the station to which you are listening. Drop a postcard in the mail tonight for your free copy of How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home.
Mercy Hospital.
Quick, send an ambulance to 217 Shoreview Road. My children, they're poisoned, dying. Oh, hurry. Hurry, please. Hurry.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
He's been poisoned.
Poisoned? Isn't there something you can do? Some way of saving him?
No, I'm sorry, my dear. It's too late. Your husband is dead. What's this, Bill? Another poison case? Yes. The calls are coming in faster than we can answer them. Well, this one will have to go to General. The emergency ward is full, not a cot left. The same thing in every hospital in town. They're swamped, all poison cases. And nobody knows how they're getting it or what it is. Come in, Commissioner Weston.
I came over as soon as I got your message, Mr. Mayor.
Sit down, Commissioner. You know why I sent for you?
Yes. And I hate to admit it, but we haven't one single clue to go on. I've had the entire police force working on this poison epidemic for 3 days, and we're right where we started.
When the first ransom note was sent to the newspapers demanding $1 million ransom or this city of over 1 million souls will be wiped out, poison, I thought it was a hoax.
Mayor, it's a wild scheme of a crazed mind. It can't be anything else.
I don't agree with you. The ransom note was signed The Shadow. This same Shadow you claimed has helped you solve so many crimes, but who has never asked for reward or credit.
I don't believe the Shadow sent that note, Mayor.
No? Then look at this photostatic copy of the original typewritten threat. Listen to the way it's worded. For years, the Shadow has smashed rackets, wiped out criminal syndicates, trapped murderers without reward. And now the time has come for a settlement. The Shadow has saved the city millions. Now the city will pay the Shadow $1 million for the hospital to be filled with the dying and the morgues will be filled with the dead.
I'm still convinced that it isn't the real Shadow who's guilty.
You say that because the Shadow has helped you so much in the past.
I resent that, Mr. Mayor.
All right, resent it. But it's up to you to get busy and find out who's responsible.
The fact remains that no clues have been found.
Well, I've got to have action.
I'm doing everything I can.
Maybe you are, but you ought to do better. Look at this report. The hospitals are filled with the dying. The morgue is filled with the dead. Hundreds of innocent people, stricken by a poison the health department can't identify. A poison for which there seems to be no antidote. What is it? How is it being fed to the people? Find out or we'll get another police commissioner. Just a minute, there's a phone. Hello? This is Clyde Burke of the Classic, Your Honor. What is it, Burke?
We just received another note signed by the Shadow.
What this, sir?
Listen to this. I can strike at random, but I can also single out any one of you for death. To prove it, I am going to poison Dan Brinkley, Commissioner of Sanitation. When you get this through the mail, Brinkley will be dead.
Lamont Cranston.
Hello, Margot.
Thank heavens you're back. Have you discovered who's poisoning all these people? Who's using your name, the name of the Shadow?
Oh, no, Margot. Every theory I've worked on has led nowhere.
Whoever he is, this man masquerading as the Shadow must be absolutely insane.
There's no doubt about that, Margot, but it's the insanity of a genius, not of a money-mad fool. What strange, distorted mind could devise such a terrible scheme? Margot, let me see that map of the city again.
I'll get
You
it.
know, the one where we marked all the areas affected by this wholesale poisoning?
Yes, I know. Here you are, Lamont.
There you see. The cases are widely scattered all over the city.
And have you any idea how these people were poisoned? Must have been put in food or milk or something. There have been so many poisonings. It doesn't seem humanly possible it could have been administered individually.
No, they were poisoned in groups. In every house affected by the poison, no one escaped. It wasn't poisoned milk. The newspapers checked on that, and it couldn't have been the food.
No, the food those people ate came from 100 different stores.
Wait a minute, Margot. You've just given me an idea. What's the one thing that all these people must have had at some time or another on the day they were poisoned?
What do you mean, Lamont?
Margot, I think I've got it. Water. Yes, water, that's it.
How could that be?
Don't know, Margot, but that's the answer. I'm sure of it. That explains the grouping of the poison cases.
But how?
It could have been done at the water meter, introduced into the main pipe in the basement somewhere.
So many different places without somebody noticing?
Yes, and Margot, who could tamper with the water pipes in the basements of any building in the city and not arouse suspicion?
Why, only someone from the water company, the man who reads the meter.
Exactly, or someone posing as a representative of the water company. Oh, sir. Margot, come on, let's open the window. Something else has happened.
Oh, Lamont, it's like a nightmare.
This thing.
Daniel Brinkley, Commissioner of Sanitation, found poisoned after warning. Extra, read all about it. The Shadow.
Oh, close the window, Margot.
Lamont, why do you suppose Commissioner Brinkley was singled out?
Margot, a distorted mind, especially that of a brilliant man, will very often move along a straight line from cause to effect. This case follows a line so simple and so straight that the police do not even suspect who he is, Margot. But in killing Brinkley, he deviated from his original purpose long enough to settle a grudge. This is that one mistake the greatest of criminals make.
You mean it's somebody whom Commissioner Brinkley wronged?
Yes. But Brinkley may never have wronged anybody. To a man with a warped mind like this, an imagined wrong can inspire revenge just the same.
Maybe it's someone who worked under Brinkley, someone in the Department of Sanitation.
Margot, the pieces of this crazy puzzle are beginning to fit together. When's yesterday's paper, the one with a photostatic copy of the ransom note sent by the man masquerading under the name of the Shadow?
Oh, here it is, Lamont. I kept it along with all the other clippings.
Yes, let me see. For years, the Shadow has smashed rackets, wiped out criminal syndicates, trapped murderers without reward. Margot, look at this. The letter E, it appears 6, 7, 8 times, and every time it appears out of line. And look. Look here, the letter A is blurred. Margot, it's like ABC, the obvious clue. We could only find that typewriter.
Lamont, out of all the typewriters in the city, it would be like looking for a needle in a haystack. Don't you suppose the police have considered that angle, tried to find that machine?
Well, perhaps they have, but without first logically working out the problem as to the one place where that machine might be, they're wasting their time. The one place is the Department of Sanitation. It's so logical as to be incredible. Come on, Margot. Get your hat and coat. We've got work to do, and there's no time to lose.
But, Lamont, you're not going to the Department of Sanitation at this hour of the night.
Why not?
Well, suppose you were caught.
Don't worry, Margot. The real Shadow won't be caught. I need your help if we're going to try out all the typewriters in those offices. It's a job for Lamont Cranston and his assistant, Margot Lane.
But if we're caught, how long a sentence can they give us for breaking into a public building?
It's worth risking, and far better than sitting here building up theories and knocking them down again while this mad masquerader carries out his monstrous schemes of wholesale murder. Come on, Margot, let's go. No, Margot. No, this isn't the machine.
Yeah, it's the last one in here.
Let's try the next office.
Be careful of that flashlight, Lamont.
Yeah.
Must be a watchman here in the building somewhere.
He's down in the basement sleeping. Made sure of that before I signaled you to come in.
Oh, it looks like another exploded theory, Lamont. We've tried dozens of machines, and none of them have the characteristics of the letters in those ransom notes.
We're not going to stop until we've tried them all, Margot.
There's the door there, leading to the back part of this floor, Lamont.
Yes, it says, Private Office of Chief Chemist A.D. Gerber. Let's look in there.
Yes, there's a machine.
It's the only one in here. Try it, Margot. Here's some paper.
Thanks. I'll be glad to get out of this place.
Write the same words, Margot. That's it. For years, the Shadow has smashed rackets,
Lamont, the E dropped.
wiped out criminal syndicates. Margot, the A blurred. Go on, finish it. Trapped murderers without reward. Now the time has come for settlement.
This is the machine that typed the warning notes to the papers.
The office of the city's chief chemist. In Gerber's office.
It might not have been Gerber. Other people could get to this machine and use it.
Margot, everything's beginning to fit together. Who would know more about poisons than a chemist? You know, I felt all along.
What was that?
Someone in the next room.
Turn your light over on that door, Lamont. There's lettering on it.
Laboratory. Keep out.
Who would be in a laboratory at this time of night?
Margot, I don't know. I'm going to find out.
It may be the man we're looking for, Lamont.
Margot, I think it'll be best if you get out of here. Go back to the car. Wait for me.
Oh, please, Lamont, let me stay here till you come out. I might be able to help you if it's that crazy maniac.
No, Margot, no. Go out to the car and wait for me. Lamont Cranston and Margot Lane have done all they can. The time has come for me to be the Shadow. The real Shadow must open that door.
The second part of the Shadow's adventure will continue in just a moment. In the meantime, let's talk about how to save money. You will begin saving money when you use blue coal. Blue coal is Pennsylvania anthracite. It is an American product mined by the Glen Alden Coal Company. Unlike many other fuels, blue coal is especially prepared for use in American homes whose heating plants were designed to use anthracite. And to be sure of getting the best anthracite, order blue coal. Its blue color identifies it at a glance. Blue coal is a long-burning fuel that sends a steady, continuous flow of uniform heat into the living quarters of the home. There is no waste because blue coal burns completely to a fine, powdery ash, and it is such a clean fuel to use. These are just a few of the reasons why sales of blue coal in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania this winter are 22% greater than last winter. Stroudsburg families have been using blue coal in increasing quantities. These are the families that not only enjoy more comfortable homes, but now save money on fuel bills as well. So I urge all families who have not yet tried Blue Coal to order a trial ton tomorrow. Find out for yourself how much better this specially prepared home fuel is than any other solid fuel. Order Blue Coal by name in any one of 4 popular sizes: egg, stove, chestnut, or peat. The name of your nearest Blue Coal dealer can be found in the Where to Buy It section of your classified telephone directory under the name Blue Coal.
Nerves. Why should I be nervous? No one knows. I'm here all alone. Who would suspect me, Gerber, the city chemist? I'll never tell them. They'll never know that Brinkley is dead. They'll make me commissioner of sanitation. I should have had the job when they gave it to him. I guess he knows it now. Gerber, bring me that report. Gerber, why didn't you do this? Gerber, why didn't you do that? Treating me like dirt. All that's over now, though. How did that door get open? Must have forgotten to close it. Must be getting absent-minded. Got to be more careful. Someone might come in. Might ask me what I'm doing. What I'm making.
What are you making, Gerber?
Wait, what was that? Who said that? Who laughed?
The shadow spoke. The shadow laughed, Gerber.
The shadow?
Yes, Gerber. I am the shadow. You know my name. You've been using it as a cloak to cover your excursions into the realm of murder.
Oh, you can make yourself invisible, Shadow. Or are you hiding?
I happen to be master of the ancient art of hypnotism, by which I can blind your eyes to my presence.
But you are really here in this room. Physically, I mean.
Yes, I opened that door. I walked into this room. I am here. Quite near you, Gerber.
How did you find me?
By a process of elimination. Because you made one mistake in your admirable train of logic.
A mistake?
Yes. When you murdered Brinkley, the commissioner of sanitation, I knew it must be someone who had a grievance against him, real or imaginary.
Real or imaginary? Oh, I see. You think I am insane, Shadow?
The sanity of a brilliant mind is not measured by ordinary standards, Gerber.
Yes, that's it. My co-workers know I'm brilliant. They don't think I'm eccentric because when anybody's around, I'm on my guard.
What were you doing when I came in, Gerber?
Filling this bottle.
What is in that bottle, Gerber? What is that crimson-colored fluid?
That is the poison, Shadow. I'm supposed to be analyzing the blood taken from my first batch of poison victims, but instead I've been making more poison. You see? It's all ready now. Would you like some, Shadow? I'll be glad to give it to you.
What are you going to do with that bottle of poison, Gerber? Or are you afraid to tell me?
No, I'm not afraid. You can't stop me. The devil himself couldn't stop me. I'm going to drive to one of our fashionable suburbs, where all the important people of the city live. There's a high steel water tower there. I'm going to climb that tower and pour this little bottle of poison through the trap door at the top. It will be diluted in the water, carried into the homes of all those prominent people. And by tomorrow night, they will all be dead.
It is fortunate I found you in time.
Time for what, Shadow?
In time to stop you.
You can't stop me, Shadow.
You're not going to leave this laboratory with that bottle of poison, Gerber.
Yes, I am. And I'm going this minute, Shadow. You see this test tube?
Yes.
It's filled with acid. Acid that will burn you beyond recognition.
You forget you can't see me.
Yeah, but the only way you can stop me is by physical means, with your body that seems to be not even a shadow. And to do that, you must drop your cloak of invisibility.
How do I know that isn't a blind to make myself become visible to you?
Oh, it isn't a blind, Shadow. I pour a little on the floor. You see? Think what that would do to human flesh. And you say you are human.
Yes. Yes, I am human.
Then I dare you to stop me. At the first touch of your hands, I'll throw it at you.
It is better that one man be injured than you should kill another entire community. I'm willing to take that chance.
All right. We'll see if you're as brave as you sound, Shadow.
Stop where you are.
No! I'm leaving unless you stop me physically.
And I have no alternative but to fight you man to man.
Oh, you are human. All right. Take this. I warned you, Shadow. You will be burned beyond recognition. That acid will eat into you to the very bone. Goodbye, Shadow. At last you've met someone who is your match. Now there's no one to stop me putting the poison in that water tower.
Margot!
Yes, Lamont.
Did you see a tall, powerfully built man come out of the sanitation building just now?
Yes, Lamont. He got in a car. There he goes, going down the street. You can still see the tail.
Follow him, Margot, and in heaven's name, don't lose him. That's the man, Gerber.
He won't get away.
Margot, is the first aid kit in the car?
Yes, it's in the side pocket. Oh, Lamont, your clothes. They're smoking.
Yeah.
And your hand bleeding. Oh, Lamont, my dear, what happened?
Acid, Margot, acid. He was getting away with a bottle of poison. I tried to stop him, and he threw the acid.
Oh, Lamont, your face. Let me look at your face.
I didn't get any on my face.
Oh.
I threw up my arm in time. It's all right. I'll bandage my hands as best I can. Keep your eyes on that car, Margot.
Yes.
Far more important, don't lose him. He's heading for the suburbs. This time, Gerber really means business. Margot, we set to poison the whole community. He's going to dump a bottle of that deadly stuff in a water tower.
Oh, Lamont. Oh, you're in terrible pain. I can see it. Let me take care of you. Let me stop at a phone booth and call Commissioner Weston. Let me send out a general alarm and pick this man
No,
up.
Margot, we have a job to do. We lose Gerber. If we stop, then the police wouldn't be any good. We'll find out where he's going, and then we can call the police.
All right, Lamont. You know best. I'll try not to lose him. Oh, Lamont, is the pain any easier? You've got to get to a doctor as quickly as possible. Infection might set in.
I will as soon as... Margot, look.
Yes.
I think Gerber is nearing his destination. He's taking that road up the hill. If I remember correctly, the water tower's at the top.
Lamont, how will you stop him now? You with your bleeding hands. He's a powerful man. Crazy with the strength of a maniac.
I've got to do what I can to delay him. Keep him from putting that poison in the tower until you can get the police.
The police? Lamont, how are they going to get the poison in the tank?
He said there was a trap door on top of the tower. A door they used when they cleaned the tank.
Oh, Lamont, that means you may have to climb that tower. Now, you can't, not with your hands in that condition. It's snowing. There'll be ice on the rungs of the ladder, and in this wind, you're liable to slip and fall.
I've got to chance it. Stop, Margot, stop. There's the water tower.
There's the car. Lamont, look, it's Gerber.
Yes.
He's starting to climb the tower already.
Margot, go on, now get the police. Hurry. Tell them to get someone to shut off the water in this tower in case I fail. Hurry, Margot, hurry! I'm going up there after him.
All right, Lamont, I'll get...
Who's that?
The man you thought you'd left in your laboratory. Burnt and blind with acid. The Shadow.
Yes? But I thought I had you. But all right. Keep on following me. You're a long way behind me by the sound of your voice.
Yes. Yes, but you have to stop when you get to the top. And I shall catch up with you.
Yes. Why, by that time I shall have poisoned the water.
You forget the trapdoor to the tank may be locked.
It will be rusty and easy to break.
But it will take time, and I shall be gaining on you. You need to hurry, Gerber. Too bad you missed my face with that acid, isn't it, Gerber?
But some of it went on you. I heard it sizzling into your flesh.
On my hands, that's all. Don't you want to see them?
Then you must be suffering holding onto the ice-covered ladder.
Not as much as you'll suffer once I reach you.
All right, hurry, Shadow. I'm on the top already. Now, you were right, Shadow. The trapdoor is locked. But that won't stop me. I'm going to blow it open with my revolver. The lock is broken, Shadow. You'd better hurry up.
I'm not far below you now, Gerber.
Now I'm opening the trapdoor, Shadow.
Yes, I hear it, Gerber, but you never put the poison in the water.
I have the bottle in my hand. I'm pulling out the stopper.
And I'm here to knock it out of your hand.
Yes! You broke it! You spilled the poison! You spoiled my revenge! You spoiled it! But you'll pay for it! You're leaving blood marks on the snow with your hands! You can't get off the top of this tower! You can't get past me to the ladder! I don't need to see you to find you! The blood marks will show me where you are!
Come and get me, Gerber. I'm waiting for you here on top of the tank.
I know you are! And you can't go any further, or you'll slip and fall to the ground, hundreds of feet below!
Don't be so sure, Gerber.
There! I've touched you, Shadow! Oh, you squirm very cleverly, but I've got you! I've got hold of you! You won't get away from me, Shadow!
And you won't get away from the police.
You warned the police?
Yeah.
But before they get here, I'm going to throw you off the tower,
You
Shadow!
might fall off yourself if you try to do that.
If I do, I'll pull you off with me!
Somebody on top of that water tower! Bring your light up there, quick!
And Commissioner Weston, he's come to take you himself, Gerber. You should feel honored.
He'll never get me! He'll never take me alive!
There he is, Commissioner! Bring out the egg! He seems to be struggling with somebody. Let's fight on him!
You're caught, Gerber. You're trapped. You're trapped. There's no escape, Gerber.
Listen to me, Commissioner Wester. You'll never get me! Never! I did it! I killed all those people! I made you think it was the Shadow!
Hey, Commissioner! He's going to jump!
You'll be killed, Gerber.
I'm not afraid! I'm not afraid! Because you're coming with me, Shadow! Come on, Shadow! Come with me! Come with me!
He did! He jumped! Throw your light over there to the foot of the tower. See who it is. That's our man, the poisoner. There's the body.
Well, he must be dead as a doornail.
Yes. No man could fall that distance and live. Turn him over. Let's see his face.
He's dead, all right. Neck's broken. Where?
Why, it's Gerber. Gerber. The chief chemist of the sanitation department. Who would ever have thought a man in his position?
He was struggling with someone up there on the top of the tower. Where's the other man?
Look around the base of the tower. See if you can find another body. Look in the bushes.
I suppose we could have missed him, but I don't see how.
Can't see a thing in these snow flurries. Swing the searchlight around. Anything over there, Sergeant?
No sign.
Nothing over on this side. Listen.
Shadow.
Yes, Commissioner Weston. The Shadow. I am walking down. And Commissioner, don't bother to search anymore. I am the man Gerber was struggling with up on the tower.
So, you trapped Gerber?
Yes, Commissioner. I trapped him. Gerber's your man. The man who tried to poison the people of this city into paying him $500,000.
Well, you won't poison any more by the looks of him.
And now, would you do something for me, Commissioner?
By all means.
If you don't mind, Commissioner, I'd like to publicly take the credit for solving this mystery. Gerber committed his crimes in the name of the Shadow. And I rather think the real Shadow deserves to be vindicated.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the Shadow leaves you, here's John Barclay, Blue Coal's heating expert. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barclay.
Thank you, Ken Roberts. Good evening, friend. At the beginning of this program, Mr. Roberts mentioned my book, How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. This book is free, and I hope all of my listeners will request a copy. For example, you've been told Blue Coal is prepared in 4 sizes. Each size is intended for use under definite conditions. If the fire pot of your furnace is less than 16 inches in diameter, you should use chestnut-sized coal. Egg or stove-sized coal should only be used in larger fire pots. The selection of the proper size blue coal for different sized furnaces is fully explained on page 4 of my book. Greater economy, fewer trips to the furnace, and more uniform heat are obtained when you use the proper size blue coal. Blue Coal and Blue Coal dealers are interested in saving you money.
That is why I'm offering you this book. And that is why blue coal dealers send John Barclay trained servicemen upon request to inspect your heating plants free of charge. This is all a part of the service that comes with blue coal. For this reason, I am anxious to send you my book, How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. Drop a postcard in the mail tonight for your copy. Address it to either Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, or to Blue Coal in care of the station to which you are listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barclay. And homeowners, remember, blue coal plus John Barclay service means better and more economical heat for you than ever before. In the meantime, whether you use blue coal or not, be sure to write to Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, or to Blue Coal in care of the station to which you are listening. Ask for Mr. Barclay's free 24-page book, How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. You have just heard a dramatized version of one of the many copyrighted stories which appear in the Shadow magazine. All the characters and all the places named are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows.
Next week, same time, same station, Blue Coal, America's finest anthracite, will again present another thrilling adventure of The Shadow. Be sure to listen, and be sure to burn blue coal, the solid fuel for solid comfort.
The shadow knows.
Blue Coal presents one of radio's most famous features, The Shadow. The story of the mystery man who strikes terror into the very hearts of shopsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Today we present The Shadow in one of his most remarkable adventures. A modern mystery of science and crime, The Phantom Voice. In just a moment, The Shadow begins his exciting adventure. Meanwhile, I'd like to tell you how you can safeguard the health and comfort of your family during these dangerous winter months. Burn blue coal. It gives you safe, uniform, healthful heat all winter long. And for valuable heating information that will save you real money regardless of the fuel you're using, send tonight for John Barclay's free 24-page book, How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. Address a postcard to Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, or to Blue Coal in care of this station. Don't miss out by delaying. Send for your free copy of How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home right at the close of this program.
Here we are. Here we are, Margot. Let me help you on.
All right. Thank you, Lamont.
This way, Margot.
Lamont Cranston, where on earth are you taking me?
We're on our way to the criminal court, Margot.
The criminal court? Oh, a murder trial.
This isn't a murder trial. But unless I'm badly mistaken, we're going to witness an assassination.
What?
An assassination. The assassination of the character and reputation of one of the most outstanding public men in America today.
Oh, you mean Senator Durham?
Yes.
Say, I've been reading about his trial in the papers. They've certainly unearthed plenty of evidence that he accepted that bribe.
Well, unless I've made a mistake in character analysis, that evidence is forged. Durham is more than a political figure, Margot. He's a statesman. He has an independent income. He's devoted his life to unselfish public service.
Oh, he's a very wealthy man.
Yes, Margot.
Senator Durham has given away 10 times the amount of money he's accused of taking as a bribe.
Well, if that's true, Lamont, the whole thing doesn't make sense. Why should a man like that take a 15-year prison term for taking a bribe he didn't need?
That's the point that worries me.
Incidentally, didn't I see that the prosecution expects us to bring a surprise bit of evidence today?
Exactly. That's why we're here. Come along, Margot. Court's already in session.
Order in the court. One more such outburst on the part of the spectators at this trial, and I shall order the courtroom cleared. Proceed, Mr. Defense Attorney.
Your Honor, I have stated the case for my client. I have shown that by his record, it would have been impossible for him to act as the prosecution claims he has acted. And I have yet to see any proof that Senator Durham has committed any crime. I will now call Senator Durham himself to the stand to deny these lies in court.
Senator Durham to the stand.
Here I am.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do. Proceed with the examination.
Senator, you have heard the prosecution's accusations that you did at some time during last December accept a bribe from the late Mario Rinaldi.
Yes.
What is your answer?
I never accepted a bribe from anyone. My answer is the whole thing is a pack of lies.
Order! Order in the court.
Your witness, Senator Durham. Do you deny that on the 16th of December last, you received a visit from the late Mario Rinaldi in your room at the Maximilian Hotel?
Why, no. He came to see me and
Confine yourself to specific answers. Gentlemen of the jury, the defense has made much of the senator's long and seemingly illustrious career of public service. They would have you believe that, like Caesar's wife, the defendant, Senator Durham, is above suspicion. They've paraded witnesses to the stand who've told you of his philanthropies, of his unselfish devotion to public service, of his blameless personal life in the past. That we do not contest, refute, nor deny. But unfortunately for Senator Durham, he is not being tried for his past. We, the prosecution, need but one more bit of evidence to complete our case. We have that evidence.
Order in the court.
I beg leave to show the jury a soundtrack motion picture of a meeting between the defendant and the late Mario Rinaldi, whose bribe of $50,000 paid to the defendant is the basis upon which this case was brought to trial.
Order in the court.
Has this motion picture a direct bearing on this case, Mr. Prosecutor?
It has, Your Honor.
Has the counsel for the defense any objection to the introduction of this type of evidence without due notice?
Senator Durham has nothing whatever to fear from the introduction of any authentic motion picture record of any meeting of Mario Rinaldi and himself, even though the picture was made without the senator's knowledge.
Very well.
The projection equipment is in the courtroom. Will you order the shades drawn and the lights extinguished?
Court attendants will please draw the shades. Again, I caution the spectators against any outbursts of any kind. Furthermore, no one will be allowed to leave the court until the introduction of this evidence is complete. You may proceed, Mr. Prosecutor.
With the court's permission, we will place the screen in full view of the jury.
Your Honor,
counsel for the defense has a question.
For the sake of the record, will the prosecution state at whose request this motion picture was made?
It was made at the request of Anthony Vogel, an attorney of this city.
For what reason?
As a citizen interested in public welfare.
Ready to roll film, Mr. Prosecutor.
Very well. Now, if the attendant will turn out the light.
Certainly, Your Honor. Order. Silence in the court.
The prosecution will submit affidavits to prove that this is an authentic film record of a meeting between Senator Durham and Mario Rinaldi on the evening of December 16th. You may turn on the machine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, come in. Oh, hello, Rinaldi. I've been expecting you.
Look here, Senator Durham. Why haven't I got the contract award on that Baxter Street building? The money's been appropriated. You said you'd use your influence if we pitched you up.
Of course, Rinaldi. I told you you'd get that contract. For consideration. If you didn't send me my present of 50,000 for swinging it your way, then that's the way out.
Oh, so that's it. Do you want to be paid off first, huh?
Yes. And in cash. No check.
Okay. You'll get your 50 grand. Get me that contract. I'll be back in an hour with the money.
Order in the court. Order! Order in the court.
That's the end of the film, gentlemen.
It's a lie. A lie, I tell you, I never said that.
Order in the court.
Your Honor, I object. My client never had such a conversation with Mario Rinaldi. That picture is a fake.
One moment. Attendants will please turn on the light.
Your Honor, allow me to remind the counsel for the defense that pictures do not lie.
Your Honor, we do not deny that the meeting between Senator Durham and Mario Rinaldi did take place in the manner shown in this film, but we deny that any such conversation took place.
Have you any proof of that?
There are only two people who could know what went on in that room. Senator Durham and Rinaldi. And Rinaldi is dead.
Do you deny the voice was the voice of the defendant?
My client admits that it sounds like his voice, but it cannot be, since he never asked or received a bribe from the late Mario Rinaldi for any reason or purpose whatever. Your Honor, I ask a recess of this trial in order that the defense may have an opportunity to study this film and soundtrack.
I object.
I do not see how the due process of law will be impaired by a 24-hour delay. Objection overruled. Court's adjourned until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Lamont, after seeing that talking picture of Senator Durham meeting Rinaldi and practically demanding a bribe, how can anyone doubt his...
Margot, the Greeks had a philosophy that ran something like this. Only believe half that which you see and nothing you hear.
Oh, but Lamont, that wasn't hearsay evidence. That was the senator speaking. That was his voice. Even he couldn't deny.
No man knows the sound of his own voice, Margot. Besides, Durham never spoke those words to Rinaldi.
But you saw him. You saw the motion picture.
Exactly. Because I did see him speak, I know he didn't say the things that were on the soundtrack of that film.
What do you mean, Lamont?
Have you ever watched the movement of a man's jaw muscles when he speaks certain words?
You mean you know what he really thought?
No. No, his face was half averted from the camera. I couldn't see his lips. I don't know just what he did say, but I know he didn't utter the words we just heard.
Oh, but Lamont, it was still the senator's voice saying those other things, demanding that bribe. I'd swear to it.
Yes, and so will the jury, Margot. Unless something is done within the next 24 hours, one of the finest men in this country, an innocent man, Senator Durham, is going to be railroaded into prison for 15 years by his political enemies. I'm stopping here, Margot. I want you to wait in the car, please.
No. The lawyer's building. What are you going to do here, Lamont?
I'm going up to the 25th floor, Margot. The Shadow has an appointment with one of the most crooked lawyers in this city. Anthony Vogel was so interested in the public welfare that he went to the trouble of having a sound camera planted in Senator Durham's hotel suite the night of December 16th.
While we are waiting for the shadow to return, I would like to ask all homeowners a question. Do you want to save money? Of course you do. And you begin real saving when you cut down on the cost of heating your home. Here's the easiest and surest way to do this. Decide now to cook and heat with blue coal. Here's why blue coal is more economical. It is prepared especially for use in the home. And blue coal is Pennsylvania anthracite. The fuel that furnaces, cooking ranges, and parlor stoves in this section of the country were especially designed to burn. It is mined by the Glen Alden Coal Company, the world's largest producer of specially prepared home fuel. And every carload of blue coal is laboratory tested for purity and size before shipment. And you can always be sure of getting the superior home fuel because it is tinted with an unmistakable blue color so that you can easily identify it at a glance. In Waverly, New York and vicinity, Blue Coal sales so far this winter are 27% ahead of sales for the same period a year ago. This increase in sales is because Waverly families have found out that Blue Coal does all I say it will do. So I urge all families throughout this region to try Blue Coal. Order a trial ton tomorrow. Ask for Blue Coal by name in any one of 4 sizes: egg, stove, chestnut, or pea. You will find the name of your nearest Blue Coal dealer listed in the Where to Buy It section of your classified telephone directory under the name Blue Coal.
See that swell, Mr. Vogel? You certainly put it over. That sound picture sure turned the trick.
Yes, but I'm still worried, Travers.
Well, there ain't nothing to be worried about. Senator Durham's as good as on his way to the pen right now.
Well, I won't feel happy until he is.
When are you going to get me a wrestling bout, boss?
Wrestling bout?
Yeah, it's about time I was getting in the ring again. And, well, I could stand the extra dough.
Forget you're a wrestler, Travers. You'll make more money in this racket as my bodyguard. Any calls while I was down at court?
Yeah, Wilson phoned a couple of minutes ago.
Why didn't you say so?
You didn't ask me.
What did he want?
I wanted to talk to you. And what do you suppose he wants? Dough?
I've paid him all he's gonna get. And maybe he's read in the afternoon papers what we're really using that soundtrack for. If he gets white-livered and talks...
Well, maybe we should fix him so he can't talk, huh, boss?
What do you mean?
Well, he could fall out of that 15-story apartment of his, accidental-like. He'd only have to fall once.
It might be a good plan.
Okay, you want me to go over there now and take care of it, boss?
No, there's no sense doing anything about him until we have to. But the first sign of anybody getting wise to what we're doing, then we'll arrange a neat little accident for friend Wilson. Well, now let's take a look at that Wesley murder case.
One case at a time, Mr. Vogel.
What was that?
Suppose we review the evidence of the case against Senator Durham.
What sort of devil's trick is this? Who are you?
I am the shadow, Vogel.
But I can't see you.
Nevertheless, Vogel, I am here, in the shadows.
Gee, boss. Somebody's talking and nobody's here.
Shut up, Travers. I'll handle this. Oh. You're the shadow, eh? You come here to play your hypnotic tricks on me. What do you know about Senator Durham's business?
I know everything about it. I've been listening to your interesting conversation about this Mr. Wilson. He seems to play an important part in your case against Senator Durham.
Listen, Shadow, I've heard plenty about you. I don't want to fight you. How much do you want to keep out of this?
Always the fixer.
How much, Shadow?
There isn't enough money in the world to cover up what you're trying to do, Vogel. Who is this man? Wilson. What part did he play in this scheme of yours?
Oh, so you don't know. You're just trying to find out, are you, Shadow? Travers, lock the door.
Okay, boss. That's locked.
Melodrama won't help you, Vogel.
Boss, if I could only see this guy, I could...
Come on, Travers. We don't need to see him.
What do you mean?
Come over here. Give me your hand.
Well, okay, but it don't make much sense.
You'll see. All right. Stand up with me against this wall. Now, stretch out your arms. Can you touch the side wall on that side?
Yeah, I can touch it.
Good. I can touch it on my side. Now, walk slowly to the other end of the room and don't let your fingers leave the wall.
Oh, I get it. Then the shadow can't get past it, huh?
You're quick. Now, walk forward slowly. Slow, you fool.
Okay. Well, I don't feel nothing. We're almost to the end of the room, boss. Maybe he got away.
No, he couldn't go through the door. It's locked. Window is locked, too.
Hey, boss, I felt something.
Huh?
I got him. I got hold of him, boss. I can't see him, but I got him.
I got the shadow around the throat. He's a man after all. Gee, Strong. Kill him, Travers.
Maybe he can. He's choking me.
Give me your gat, boss. I'll shoot him. You don't need a gun that'll make too much noise. He's waiting, boss. Kill him, Travers. Give him your famous stranglehold.
If he doesn't let go, he'll kill me.
Yes, Shadow. This is where you die. Finish him off, Travers. I've got to hurry and take care of Wilson before he gets a chance to talk.
I wonder who that can be. Oh, good evening, Mr. Fogle.
Hello, Wilson. I hear you were trying to get hold of me earlier this evening.
Yes, that's right. I want to talk to you. Won't you come in?
Are you alone?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Mr. Vogel, when you asked me to do some work for you, I didn't ask to know what you were going to do with it. I needed the money for my wife, Alice, and kids, and
You got paid, didn't you?
Yes, but... I mean... Well, all this stuff in the papers, Mr. Vogel, about the... Frankly, I don't like it.
Oh, you don't? Having a little attack of conscience, Wilson?
Well, doing a job is one thing, but sending a man away to prison on a false charge is something else. So I intended to tell you that...
Tell me what?
Well, tell you that I refuse to let it go on any further.
Oh, you refuse?
Yes. After all, Mr. Vogel, if I tell what I know about... Well, what are you going to do about it?
Just this.
Don't move, Wilson. Put that gun down. Don't be a fool, Vogel.
I'm not the fool, Wilson. Now, turn your back to me. That's right.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to assist at a little action. Now, walk to that window.
Wait! You can't do this to me. You can't.
Walk!
Okay.
Now, open the window. All right, Wilson. Climb up on the windowsill.
Just a moment, Mr. Vogel.
The shadow. I thought Travers took care of you.
You thought Travers took care of me, did you, Vogel? Well, I admit he's a good wrestler. But there was one little hole, Vogel, I learned in the Orient. But he didn't know. He had me beaten for a moment. It was my one chance to get you to lead me to Wilson.
You mean you followed me here?
Yes. Yes, I followed you here. It wasn't very difficult to get away from Mr. Travers. It seems I arrived just in time for my proof.
In time? No. There, Shadow, there's your proof lying dead on the floor.
You're crazy, Vogel. You're a fool. You'll get the chair for this.
I'm not as crazy as you think. So I'm a fool, am I, Shadow? Now, you're the fool for coming here. You're the fool the police will find locked in this room with Wilson's dead body. They'll find you. I'll see that they do. And here's the gun you killed him with. Why don't you try the window, Shadow? It's only 15 stories to the floor. Shadow. Shadow.
Wilson. Tell me. Quick.
I'm done for.
Quick. Quick, Wilson. Give me the proof. The proof, Wilson. The proof that you framed Senator Durham.
Proof.
Come on, Wilson. Come on. Tell me. How did you frame Senator Durham?
Good. Oh, darling. My baby.
Wilson.
Wilson! Lamont, are you all right?
Unlock the door, Margot. Unlock the door. The key's on the outside.
Oh, Lamont, I heard a shot and saw Vogel running out, but I couldn't wait. What happened?
I hadn't been so stupid. Waited so long. I wanted to find out their secret before I spoke. Now it's too late. Wilson is unconscious, I'm afraid. Dying. Vogel has outwitted me. After all.
Vogel. That's it, Vogel. Shot me. In cold blood, he shot me. I burned for it.
Wilson, listen to me. Listen and think. Think. Tell me. How did you frame Senator Durham? Tell me that, Wilson. Tell me that, and I'll see that Vogel pays for doing this to you.
Senator Durham, now I remember. I'll show you. Help me into the next room. I'll show you.
We'll help you. Easy now. Easy.
I'll get on the other side. Why, look. It's a recording studio.
Yeah, that's right. It's my hobby. I'm an actor. An impersonator by profession.
An impersonator?
Yes. Help me with that chair by the turntable. I impersonate people. I've imitated Senator Durham's voice dozens of times. Blake, hand me the microphone. Turn on the switch. There, I can't hold out much longer.
Here's the microphone.
Drop that needle on the wax record. Turn the switch. This is you, Wilson, speaking. I've just been shot by Anthony Vogel. He hired me to...
Order in the car. Your Honor, I move that the case against my client, Senator Durham, be dismissed.
On what ground?
On the evidence contained on this record found in the apartment of the late Hugh Wilson, the radio and stage impersonator who was found shot in his apartment last night. I ask the court's permission to play it at this time.
Permission granted.
You may start the record now.
Yes, sir.
This is Hugh Wilson speaking. I've just been shot by Anthony Vogel. He hired me to impersonate the voice of Senator Durham. It's my voice on the soundtrack of the picture shown at Senator Durham's trial. I'll show how I did it. Listen. Of course, Grimaldi, I told you you'd get the contract for consideration. But you didn't send me my present of $50,000 for swinging it your way. So naturally, that's how it was done. That's how I did it. Durham's innocent. You never uttered those words. I did it.
Order in the court.
Why, this is amazing, incredible.
Your Honor, there is one more voice on the record at the end. Listen.
The voice you have heard is that of Hugh Wilson, murdered by Anthony Vogel. He is the man who sought to frame Senator Durham. But Vogel failed. Just as in the end all crimes must fail, and all criminals pay the penalty of death.
Order in the court.
Whose voice was that?
That, Your Honor, is the voice of the man to whom Senator Durham owes his vindication. The voice of the shadow.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the shadow leaves you, here's John Barclay, Blue Coal heating expert. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barclay.
Thank you, Ken Robert. Good evening, friend. Just now I'd like to offer you a friendly suggestion to lose no time in sending for your free copy of my book, How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. This little book is attractively illustrated, and each of its 24 pages holds valuable heating information that is of interest to every homeowner. Problems such as the importance of clean furnaces, putting coal on the fire, how to bank a fire, and how to light a fire are dealt with in the fullest detail. For example, on page 16, you will find steps to follow in getting the best results from your furnace in the morning, during the day, and at night. And friends, these are only a few of the 36 topics covered in my book. There is no charge for this book. It will be sent to your home absolutely free and postpaid. It is a part of Blue Coal's famous free service. So I earnestly recommend that you send a postcard tonight for your free copy of How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. Addressed Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, or to Blue Coal in care of the station to which you are listening. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barclay. Friends, these books are going like wildfire. So write for your copy tonight. Address a postcard in a clear, legible hand to Blue Coal, 120 Broadway, New York City, or to Blue Coal in care of the station to which you are listening. Write now for your copy of How to Reduce the Cost of Heating Your Home. You have just heard a dramatized version of one of the many copyrighted stories which appear in the Shadow magazine. All the characters and all the places named are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
As you sow evil, so shall you reap evil. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows.
Next week, same time, same station, Blue Coal, America's finest anthracite, will again present another thrilling adventure of the Shadow. Be sure to listen, and be sure to burn blue coal, the solid fuel for solid comfort.